end of the human race.
It's a flying object and we don't know what it is. I would hope somebody is checking it out.
I don't know if it was a rocket or whatever, but incredibly fast, opposite direction. It was too fast to be an airplane.
I'm glad the Pentagon is looking at this, because if it poses a threat, I want them on top of it.
Well, the craft generates its own gravitational field.
You said there's lights in the sky?
The internet has become the command center for criminals and terrorists.
911, what's your emergency? I need help, please help!
Aliens won't let it happen. You know, that's what we're instructed to say.
Roswell, Area 51. Alien kept deep under the ground.
1, 0,
self-serving. You're here for a reason. You're listening to Troubled Minds Radio.
Broadcasting live from a secret bunker just off the extraterrestrial highway. Somewhere in the desert sands outside of Las Vegas. From somewhere in space-time, loosely labeled Generation X on planet Earth. And asking questions of you in earnest into the digital darkness. Good evening and welcome to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm your host, Michael Strange. And hello to all of you who might also have troubled minds. What's up, guys? It is Tuesday night, and that means it is show night. And that means we're back to talk about all the things we're not allowed to talk about, which is, of course, aliens, conspiracy, the paranormal, and everything in between. We talk about the 24-hour news cycle. We talk about academia. We talk about the government. Yeah, that government, and the other government, and all the governments. We talk about all the things that's unsavory, that have become less and less popular, that have become victims of the thought police. That's what we're here to talk about. Like I always say, it's not illegal yet. And as a result, we're still talking about it. We're still doing it. And we're going to continue doing it until the boots are on the neck. No boots on the neck, please. I'm not inviting anything. I'm just saying. It's still legal. It's still legal, guys. All right. Okay, so where are we doing today? What are we doing? All right. So okay, we talk about all kinds of things. We always gave this show a wide berth of topics because we want to, we definitely don't want to be like the one-trick Bigfoot pony, you know what I'm saying? We talk about some Bigfoot sometimes, and some aliens sometimes, and some conspiracy sometimes, and then some ghosts sometimes. We talked about ghosts quite recently, actually. So that's kind of the deal here. And so you kind of really never know what you get when you're going to show up. And tonight, we have a heaping helping of conspiracy for you. So not just a regular conspiracy news. I'll explain in just a sec how the rest of this goes. But then we have a conspiracy narrative on the back half that's kind of looking at what actual conspiracies 2020 brought in. It's like what, like if 2020 was the cat, and what did the cat drag in? Well, yeah, that's what we're looking at. The conspiracies that 2020, the conspiracies that used to be ridiculous, right? Like just a short couple years ago, you bring up, I don't know, forced vaccinations, and people are like, "What the hell? Are you crazy?" Yeah, well, we're gonna get into some of that in the back half tonight. Okay, but the front half. Here's what we're gonna do. This show's live. Did I mention the show's live? Live. Holy shit! I'm too excited. All right, here we go. Slow down, Mike. Take a sip of beer. All right. So this show is live We're broadcasting Tuesday. It's a couple days before Thanksgiving. Tuesday, what is the date? It is the 24th of November. So if you're listening out there and it's Tuesday night, you are in luck because we're live. And that means we include you in part of this process. And that's the reason we do it live. And that's the reason it's such a damn long show. Like I said, TikTok attention spans need not apply, or maybe use it as a way to expand your attention span. That could be good too. All right, but okay. So this is the way this is going to work. We include you. We're reading chat. We're streaming on Facebook. We're streaming on YouTube. Streaming on Periscope, which is part of Twitter. Streaming on DLive. Streaming on Twitch. We're streaming all over the damn place. Okay, even someplace in Japan, I think, which never, I think, gets a single view, because it's probably not allowed in Japan. I can't be sure, but we should be streaming on that, whatever that service is in Japan. We tried to stream in China, but they wanted like some DNA and a retina scan and a fingerprint. And when Frank was the one trying to set that up back in the day, he's like, nope, we're not doing this. It's like, okay, fair enough. All right. So, okay. So then what we're going to do is we'll do shout outs in a sec. So we're streaming on all those things. So if you want to shout out, just type where you're listening from, and then we'll shout you out that way. And then what we'll do is we'll get into some conspiracy news. I've pre-selected the news as usual to talk about some weird stuff that happens, some space stuff, some other odd things. We got some big news on deck that everybody's talking about now in the UFO world, so we'll talk about that. I made a video on that actually just recently, which is getting some hot traction compared to what we normally get. So if you guys haven't seen that video, I'll link it, and you guys can take a look at that. The Stanley Kubrick and the that whole bit with the metallic thing in Utah. So yeah, there's some weird stuff going, which is pretty cool, and there's some news coming out regarding that. So we'll have a look at that as an update to the video I made. And yeah, so if you want to shout out, just type in the chat where you're listening from. We'll shout you out. And if you want to be part of the show, 702-957-1037. That's a Las Vegas area code. And you can just give us a call. We'll put you straight on the show. You can talk to me. My name is Mike. You can talk to whoever else might be listening. And like I said, you never know who might be listening. That's the beauty of this. Like I said, looking at the podcast stats, people in China, we get people in China listening. So who knows? Who knows? With a VPN and a bad attitude, you can get a lot done, probably even in China. So, yeah, there you go. So 702-957-1037, and give us a call, get on the show. And you can also join the Discord. Actually, did I join it? I didn't do that yet. I always forget. That's the last thing. I always forget. But okay, so you go to troubledminds.org. That's the official website. And you can be on the show that way as well with Discord. Click the Discord link, and it's a free voice and chat client if you're not familiar with it or aware of it. And it's pretty cool. So if you don't like that long distance old school phone number, then you can just you got an internet connection and a tablet or PC or Mac or whatever it is, iPhone, whatever you got, it will work. So it's free, totally free. Discord and troubleminds.org. Click the Discord link on top, and you'll get an invite, and there we go. Boy, whew. See, I'm stumbling all over my words already. It's way too early for that. Okay, here we go. Let's do shout outs. We got let's go to Facebook first. We got excuse me, Eric from Pittsburgh. How you doing, buddy? Eric from Pittsburgh. Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. William from Singapore, I believe. Thanks for being here. Todd from I think Todd is in Arizona still. I don't know. What's up, Todd? How you doing? OG Todd, how you doing? Thanks for being here tonight. Let's see. Eric says, can't wait for tonight's show. I hope we have something on aliens for the night to talk about. We have something about aliens, but it may not be aliens. We'll see. What's up, Robert? Thanks for being here tonight. I'm not sure where Robert's from, but he always withholds it. In his recliner right there. Robert in his recliner. What's up? Thanks for showing up tonight. We got, let's see, Scully from NC Manted. I'm not sure what that means. Is that North Carolina? Or is that like someplace on Mars? I have no idea. Elizabeth from Oregon, thanks for showing up. Hi, Trouble Minds. Lots of food for thought these days. Yes, definitely. We got Larry, thanks for being here tonight. I'm not sure from where. We got Derek from the Saskatchewan, our Canadian friends. How you doing? We got John from Niagara Falls, New York, checking in. Thanks for being here tonight. We got Christopher. Hello, greetings, fellow Earthlings. How you doing? John. Did I say John? Yeah, John from Niagara Falls again. How you doing? Because I missed it the first time. Kurt, Ohio. Wapakoneta. Did I say it right? Wapakoneta, Ohio, checking in, birthplace of Neil Armstrong. What's up, Kurt? Thanks for being here tonight. Let's see. Thank you for the sound check, guys. Todd, John, and Robert says, "I'll bet that skull flossed religiously when alive." Yeah, right. From the intro there. It is a fine set of teeth. I agree. Let's see. Kurt says, "Please don't go overboard with some BS Utah monolith. Everybody knows it would be made out of a quantum quartz, not stainless steel." No. Hey. Did you watch the video, Kurt? Did you watch the video? What did I say? All right, come on. You know me better than that. Come on. I'm not gonna go off the deep end and say this is aliens like everybody else is, right? I think Third Phase just came out with a video that I just can't stand to watch because those guys annoy the shit out of me. Hey, Third Phase, if you're watching, you guys annoy the shit out of me. All right, let's see. Christopher says, "Sorry to talk politics, but I want truthful opinions. Who do you all think will win the election? Are you time traveling, brother? Are you time traveling? Oh, yeah. You all know Trump has many lawsuits going on proving fraudulent votes. Yeah, my opinion on that is that Biden won the election. I think it was probably massively dirty, and I think they're going to protect the establishment. The establishment protects the establishment, so I don't think anything is going to come of these lawsuits, right? Because think about how scandalous it would be if they overturned everything and then they're like, "Oh, psych, Trump's the president again." You know what I mean? Like, it would cause serious damage to the institutions, or let's say serious damage to people's belief in the institutions. That's probably the better way to put it. But okay, yeah, that's my take. That's my take on that. I don't think anything's changing. I think it's going to be Biden, and within 6 months of him swearing the his hand on the burning Bible, it's going to be Kamala Harris. Yeah. Ooh. Let's see how this is going to be. Yeah, I don't think that these lawsuits are going to come of anything. Just one man's opinion. What do I know? But like I said, the establishment has a way of protecting itself. So, yeah. Let's see. Sean says, Area 51 workers love this show. Yeah, actually, last time we did a poll, 100%. All of the Area 51 workers that listen love this show. So... Yeah, definitely. What else do we got? Let's see. Kurt, Sean, Paul. Morning, Mike. I'm at work until 8 a.m. in the United Kingdom. Working the overnight shift in the UK. Yeah. We got, let's see. Robert says, Utah monolith awaits every day the sun to radiate through the crack in the Rocky Mound and energizing its shiny steel. Then the monolith turns into an internet hotspot for aliens. Well, there you go. I read that poorly, but yes, that may be it, right? We have the first intergalactic Wi-Fi hotspot for aliens. What's up, Scott from Chicago? Thanks for being here tonight. We got George from Hoquiam, Washington. I butchered that for sure. Joe from Florida. Are monkeys hanging around the monolith? I don't think so. That's the reference to the 2001: The Space Odyssey. What's up, Larry? Thanks for being here tonight. We got Scully from North Carolina repping the Black Mantis EBE multi-dimensional crew. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Tell them I said hello and to leave me the F alone. I'm not interested. Let's see. Eric says Trump pissed off a lot of people. This happened once before, I believe. Cough, cough, JFK. Yeah. I think this. Speaking of pissing off a lot of people as president, I think there's probably better ways, right, than shooting the president. Yeah, I don't know. Just saying. Yeah. What's up, Tamron from South Africa? How you doing tonight? Thanks for being here. Eric says S9 workers according to Bob Lazar. Yeah, S4, S9. I don't know. John. Let's see. John. Presidents are just managers of privately held companies anyway, and that's yeah. Yeah. Tears. Let's see. You got United States of America, the company. Then you got the America, the place. Yeah. Tears. Yeah. Unfortunately, there's a lot of truth to a lot of the BS that we deal with on a day-to-day basis, isn't there? Sound check 1 2. Can you guys hear me? I audio check. I sound a little quiet in my headphones. That's why I'm tripping. So I could always jack them up, but I don't want to go deaf. But just, yeah. How are we doing? Piping out hot? I change a little bit of the audio settings, and I freak out every time I do that and think I broke something. So let me know if I'm coming through loud and clear. All right. Let's go to YouTube. We got Eli. What's up? Thanks for being here. Eli gets first on YouTube. We got Axel. What's up? Axel, who I met on Twitter, who's a fine fellow. Hi, Mike. Still sick. Still with the COVID. Get better. Get better soon. Is your taste coming back and your smell? That's what I hear. with COVID. That's a thing. What's up, Penny, the Curious Bunny? Everybody follow the Curious Bunny on YouTube. Thanks for showing up. Always the best synth on the channel, says Penny. Thank you. Appreciate that. And Penny gave a like to the channel and shared it on both of her channels. I appreciate that. Thanks, guys. Do share. It does help a lot. Share it on YouTube if you got it, or share it on Facebook or wherever you're at. Let people know that you can be a fringe analyst, a conspiracy theorist, right? The old school term is conspiracy theorist. You can be one of those people and not be insane. It's possible. It's still possible, all right? Despite what the media tells you. All right. Let's see. What else do we got? Let's see. Who else? We got, I think that's it. I think we're light on YouTube tonight, or everybody's being very quiet. Very quiet. Everybody's shy on YouTube. Shy in the chat. It's okay. Loud and clear, Hoss. Thanks, John. Loud and clear, says Robert. Sound a lot clearer than normal, actually, says Tamron. Yes, that's what I was going for. I kind of stripped everything down. So I had this embarrassing thing, that rattling noise you heard in the back. That was a ever so slightly loose fan that was in my PC case that's sitting right next to me. And so that rattle and hiss was not like U2's rattle and hum. It was like an embarrassing rattling fan in my PC. So I stripped that sucker apart last night. I was like, what is this sound? I was so mad. And then, screwdriver in about 10 minutes and now no rattling in the background. So yeah, should be good. I wanted to make sure. So, all right. What's up, Sean on Facebook? I see you there. Thanks for showing up. Okay, let's get to the conspiracy news. What's up, Geo Magician? I see you. Here. Hey, everybody settle down. Everybody chill. I see you. Thanks for showing up tonight, Geo. We got Timothy on what do we got? Timothy on what is that? Periscope. What? Hi. You're blasting. No, you're blasting, Timothy. You're blasting. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Okay, here we go. Let's get to the conspiracy news, shall we? One more time, if you want to be a part of the show, you want to call and say hi, show feedback, you want to talk about what shows you want to see in the future, this type of thing, no problem. Give me a call, 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link, troubledminds.org, and let's go. Let's do it. Let's get to it. Let's get right to this. All right, let's see. What do we got? Okay, here we go. Now, this is on Twitter. Now, okay, back to Twitter. I tell you what, at the very least, Twitter has some lulls, right? Some good laughs on Twitter. All right, I'm going to link this stuff as usual, and you guys can follow along. As you know me, you know the show. We like sources here. So even if the source is bunk or a bunch of horse shit or whatever you want to call it, right, wrong, or indifferent, we like sources. So here's the source. Paul Joseph Watson on Twitter, right? And I know, right winger, everybody freaked the fuck out, hair on fire, right, etc., so on. Polarizing figure. He tweeted this: 4chan has discovered the location of the Utah monolith. It sat there for over 4 years unnoticed. Okay, now this Utah monolith. Now, hold on. I've got a video on this. I'm gonna link this, and if you guys have not seen this, then you can catch up. You can catch up. Actually, you know what? Skip that. Let's just play my video. Here you go. Let's just do that. We're gonna play this damn video right here, and you guys can see what's going on. It's only 5 minutes, but I'll kill it before it gets to the end. But okay, so now this is exactly what the mysterious metallic monolith was found in the Utah desert. Alien artifact or something else. Nice clickbait headline, right? I can clickbait too. Look at me, Mom. Okay, here we go. This is from Troubled Minds. Action. Stanley Kubrick released a film entitled 2001: A Space Odyssey. This revolutionary film utilized several similar metallic alien monoliths as the major plot device, and the story itself explored artificial intelligence, ancient alien theory, alien technology, and human consciousness.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
What's the problem?
I think you know what the problem is just as well as I do.
What are you talking about, Hal?
This mission is too important for me to allow you to jeopardize it.
I don't know what you're talking about, Hal.
I know that you and Frank were planning to disconnect me, and I'm afraid that's something I cannot allow to happen.
As is so often said, truth is stranger than fiction. In recent years, monoliths resembling the ones found in the Kubrick film have been found on the surface of Mars and also on its small moon named Phobos. the monolith on Mars was spotted by the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, and the monolith discovered on Phobos was discovered by NASA reviewing old satellite footage. Now, what if there was a similar mysterious monolith found here on Earth? Would an existing monolith be the smoking gun of actual extraterrestrial visitations over the course of human history? Well, hang tight, because you may not believe this one at all. Fox 13 News in Utah recently reported that a mysterious metallic object was found in the desert while a state scientific deployment was taking a count of bighorn sheep. The height of the object itself was not described, but whatever this thing turns out to be, it certainly has an eerie resemblance to the monolith found on Mars in the Kubrick space drama. No additional details were reported regarding the monolith itself, and social media speculation on the original post has Facebook users postulating that it could be a wide range of exotic or mundane material. Okay, that's probably enough to give you the idea of what this actually is and what we're talking about. Okay, so that actually was found just recently in the last several days. I did see it before Joe linked it in, what's up, Joe, in Florida. Joe linked it in a Discord, and I saw it, and I was planning to do a video, but damn, sometimes the time just gets away from me, it gets too late, and you're like, damn, I didn't start this. I should have got it up sooner, but and then Joe linked it, and I was like, okay, this is something that's going to blow up, so I got to do a video on this fast, get it out there, right? Because you get into the algorithm faster, and you go viral faster. So that's good stuff, right? Gives us exposure on the show, and lets people know that we talk about cool stuff here. So anyway, all right. So back to here we go. No, not that. Back to the other thing. Back to what we were talking about. The Paul Joseph Watson Twitter post. Okay, here we go. So this is now, okay, he says 4chan has discovered the location of the Utah monolith. It sat there for over 4 years unnoticed. Okay, now 4chan, as everybody knows, is twice what 2chan is and half of 8chan, right? Everybody knows that. but they're also one of the places on the internet where they're very notorious for finding shit out, right? They can find these things out, and they're cyber sleuths, right? So these are images. So they found the location of this according to Google Maps, right? So they actually found this thing. But if you look, on the right, the image is 2015, and it is not there. In 2016, this thing is now there, right? So of course, the way Google Maps works with the satellites is, once or twice a year, whatever, they'll get a satellite image and they'll update it. Okay, so this thing has been sitting there since at least 2016, and they just found it now. So what's going on with this? 4 years out in the sun in Utah, and this is the monolith we're talking about. So there you go. Let's see. Did I link that? No, I didn't link that. Yeah, okay. I did. Okay. So 2016, this thing's been out there. All right. So what is this? What exactly is this damn thing? I have no idea. All right. I don't know. And of course, right, you have to say aliens, right? That's the thing. Everybody's like, it's aliens. It's aliens. It's the aliens. Okay, well, I'm not so sure about that. But since the first article, it was actually just a Facebook post. So there was first there was just a Facebook post from the Nevada Highway Patrol, and they're the ones who said, does anybody know what this is? We found this. And yeah. And so there was no details on how tall it was or exactly where they found it or anything. It was just a Facebook post, right? Okay, so now there's additional information. And as you can see, let's actually open this up, open image in new tab. And you can see, like, this thing's actually freaking tall. Like, it looked like in the initial picture that it was kind of maybe, I don't know, say, like 4 or 5 feet tall, right? Maybe not that large, but they actually have pictures of people standing on each other's shoulders to touch the top of this thing. So the thing's like 12 feet tall. It's 2 people tall, basically, right? And so it is. It's just as you see it. It's out there in the middle of nowhere, sitting in this remote desert canyon. Cool wind in my hair, and yeah, the smell of alien alloy rising up through the air. Yes, and here it is. So I don't know. I mean, exactly what this is,
is anybody's guess. Many people at this point are speculating that it is a homage to the 2001 Space Odyssey by Kubrick. Others are saying that it's a prank, like some sort of a desert art project that somebody just put up and waited for somebody to notice, even though 4 years is a long ass time to kind of be waiting for credit on this thing. So I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think this is? I guess that's the question. That's the real question, right? It doesn't matter what I think. It only matters what you think. So you tell me. Like, I'm a little skeptical of aliens. Well, because this is just a piece of metal in the desert, right? We have that technology. So I don't know. I mean, if this had no seams and they did like a chemical analysis, like somebody said there was drywall screws in this thing or some shit. I don't know if that's true because I haven't seen close-up pictures of it. I don't know if we have any of that information quite yet. If you've seen it, let me know. Let's see. Is this the next one? No. Okay. So this is, there we go. So anyway, now, this is what's getting all the hype, all the hoopla is this, whatever's going on, this metal monolith found by helicopter crew in Utah desert. So yeah, aliens. What? You tell me. Art project. Something else. Somebody noted that it could be a reflector for a laser reflector for a mining company or something like this. I don't know. They mentioned that on the Facebook post, the original Facebook post. So anyway, I'm not exactly sure what's going on here. If you guys have takes on this and you want to spend some time on this, it is the hot news right now. So no problem. I'm down with that. If you want to, you know what to do. Give me a call, 702-957-1037. We'll put you on the show. Click the Discord link. You can find both the phone number and the Discord at troubleminds.org. And what do you think? What exactly is this damn thing? And why? Why did it take 4 years to find this? And okay, and how about this? Let's postulate a little bit. Let's say it took 4 years to find this, according to the Google Maps images. All right, so they didn't find it either on Google Maps, like the people that kind of scour Google Maps for anomalous things. Right, they're out there. They definitely exist. Nobody found it that way, and then nobody found it directly in person as far as we're aware until just now. So 4 years out in the desert, nobody really knows what's going on with this thing, and then we have the highway patrol crew out there, and they're reporting it on their social media. I don't know, so remote. If it's so remote that nobody found it, figure that's a weird spot for an art project, right? Right. Anyway, all right. Let's see. All right. Okay, let's see. Let's read some of the chat and see what you guys think. This actually is made of, but yeah, there's a lot here. This is the big news, so we'll talk about this for a little bit. If you guys want to again call in and tell your theory, I'd love to hear. Okay, let's see. Tamron says, if I didn't have a family, I would make a serious effort to touch the thing and see what happens. They've got pictures of them touching it, so. I mean, I guess unless you're like soul tuned to this thing, is that the term? I don't know if there's a term for this, but yeah. Anyway, so whatever you think is great. We got a call coming in. We'll take it in a sec. Robert says it's 12 feet, and yeah, exactly. That's new information that I just got. William says I saw a photo of two persons standing on top of the other. Yep, that's one that I saw as well. Let's see. What is a monolith? Says Eric. So a monolith is actually like a stone pillar. So it's kind of a bad term for this because a monolith is actually made of stone, right? It's like like this if it was rock. Okay, so it's kind of they say the ones on Mars and on Phobos and the ones they find on these other planets, they say they aren't. Of course, rocks don't just grow like this, right? Because that would be weird, right? I mean, rocks grow. That would be weird too. But you get what I mean. Like normal processes on these places don't cause rocks to happen like this. Okay, but they say that I think the one on Mars and the one on Phobos is part of some ejecta, they say, or it fell from like a ridge up above. And, anyway, so it's supposed to be rock. That's what a monolith is. The actual term for what a monolith is it's a rock pillar kind of standing there out in the middle of nowhere. So there you go. Let's see. What's up, Millie? Thanks for showing up tonight. Let's see. Millie says, you should circle where in those pics. Most of us are on our phones. I don't have a circle thing. I don't have a circle thing. I'm sorry. Let's see. I'll add one actually for next time, so I can give you the circles. But okay, actually here let's go full screen on this, and you can see a little bit bigger. Okay. Anyway, let's take this phone call and talk about the monolith. What's up, Kelly? You were on Trouble Minds with Mike. How you doing tonight?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, you already know. Talking aliens and conspiracy. right in our alley.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get her done.
Let's get her done. What do you think about this, man? What do you think this thing is?
What's interesting is now that I didn't know, like, someone found the location, I'm pretty sure that was going to happen anyway. I was just waiting for that through Google Maps, but it was there since 2016. It's been there for, what, 4 years now?
Yeah, so that's what they're saying. According to this post, 4 years.
Yeah, what's interesting is how shiny it is still. You know what I mean? If it's enduring weather, whether it be rain or not, you know what I mean? I know it doesn't get a lot of rain down in southern Utah. That's where I'm originally from, but it still gets rain when it does rain, you know what I mean? Or even kind of some kind of inclement weather, you know what I mean, through moisture. You think that thing would be, you know, some metal that we know besides stainless steel is going to be some kind of corrosion on there, you know what I mean, especially after 4 years. And it's sticking in rock, man. You know what I mean? If you look at the base of it, like there was somebody that took a picture of it, you know what I mean? There's, you know, of course there's all the other pictures out there, but there's one that I've seen that did like a pretty close up on it, and they went down to the base of it. And there's like, if someone was to do an art project, let's say, you know what I mean, and you're putting it in rock, you got to pound at least, you know what I mean, you got to make it bigger than what you're going to slide that thing into. That it looks pretty strange where it's like right butt up next to it, you know what I mean? Somebody did some unless they had like a saw to cut down to make it perfect, but I'd like to see what the ground looks like around it actually.
Yeah, same here. And so again, right, so even if it's 12 feet, you'd figure it would have to be at least maybe 14 feet to get enough of that thing stuck in the rock bed there to make this thing stand up, right? So that's a great point. How long is this thing actually? Is it, you know, maybe 18 or 20 feet, or who the hell knows how long this thing can actually be? And if it's that long, how the hell do you get that much metal and that much rock without some kind of huge power tools? And this seems to be down at a canyon. So I don't know.
Yeah. Pretty crazy where it's at too. You're just saying, I was watching your video earlier this morning when I woke up, when you had when you post your video on it. And what's crazy about it is, like, when you brought up the Sumerian thing, it kind of clicked in my head because I go back to the Lost Book of Enki, and inside there is, like, I've always I don't know if I talked about this with, you know, when we've talked about the Sumerian writings and stuff before in the other shows, but what's interesting in that book that Zachariah Stinson has, he talks about, well, in the book, the Sumerians, the Anunnaki talk about, you know, when you have I guess, kingship, right? They place kingship 3 times within that book in different places. And when they did, they planted what they called a bright, shiny object, or a something that has to do effect with this shiny object, though. But once it's mounted into a, I know one of them was in Iraq. It's like in city of Uruk, or not Uruk, but it's like and then another name, but because they've already found the city of you know what I mean, many years ago. But what's interesting is that they're talking about placing a bright, shiny object. And I don't know if it'd be metal or not, but like from the sky, that's why the helicopter, when they were flying by, they saying that bright object, like it was really shiny, obviously, you know, reflecting off the sun and stuff. But that's the only thing I was going to say. So I rented the book, and it's mentioned 3 times within the book. And that's when they place that object, you know, into the ground to mean that it's, you know, the kingship, I guess, or the, you know, the ruling land of the planet or whatnot.
So it's like when we went to the moon, we stuck the American flag up there in the soil, the regolith on the moon. It's something similar. They're like, well, aliens arrived. Here's our boom, our territory. That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
But it, you know, was there a place like, you know what I mean, kind of like the capital, like say DC of the United States, you know what I mean, or like Rome, you know what I mean. It's got like their own, but this one, I wonder if I can find it somewhere real quick. It was in tablet 12, and I think tablet 14. Yeah, they stuck in the second time, or the third time? Third time they stuck it was in Urum. It's in those soil, the divine heavenly bright object remained implanted. Kingship for the third time was granted. And then in tablet 12, let's see. They call it the heavenly bright object, is what they call it. That's what it's called.
Okay, so this may be
crazy
heavenly bright object.
Fine.
Interesting. Sorry, go ahead.
You kind of think unless it's something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if there's something to this, right? If there's some sort of a ancient scripture that maybe, I don't know, foretells the beginning of I don't know, or the beacon. Like somebody made the joke that it's a 6G tower. I thought that was pretty good too. Yeah.
You know what is, bringing up, just different things too, but like I know there's a lot of people that do a lot of artwork out in those areas too, out in the deserts in Utah. Because if you go out to a place towards, going towards like, it's called Wilder, Nevada, from, it's west of Salt Lake City, if you just head on I-80 over. But it's, but there's a lot of people build artwork and stuff like that. But again, like I said, I would like to know what kind of metal they're using, because it's been like, from the Google Earth thing, that thing was planted in 2016. It's been out there for 4 years. It's pretty interesting that it's not, there's got to be some kind of corrosion on something, because the desert's not always, in the wintertime it gets moist out there, you know what I mean? So
yeah, so it looks
it's
like
pretty interesting.
According to this picture here, it does look like there's a little bit of weathering on it, but you don't know. I don't know if it could be fingerprints from somebody that was, climbing up it and touching it and stuff. I don't know, but I think you're right. I think, it definitely, 4 years out there in the desert, I think it would be a little bit more than that. I mean, even contrary to popular belief, it does rain in the desert. So I think 4 years, it probably caught some rain. Does. So it should be a little bit messed up, but it certainly doesn't seem to be, does it?
Mm-mm. And also, I know I'm not to post anybody else's stuff, but I also seen that the guys on Third Phase of Moon, I guess they did an interview with the pilot of the helicopter when they landed. He got an interview with them to describe what this thing looks like. Okay,
cool. Did you watch it? Do you know what he said?
No, I haven't watched it. He said it was supposed to come out later on. I haven't. Well, like I said, I just got off work, so I just kind of like been browsing and waiting for the show to come on. So, I haven't really been, looking for it or anything. But that's the last time I heard that they were supposed to. Blake and Brant was supposed to get some interview on with that guy.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'd like to hear that.
Yeah, that would be cool. No, you're allowed to mention other people's channels. That's totally fine. I probably shouldn't have said that. Those guys annoy me, but oh well. It is what it is.
Well, it's really interesting guys, so you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, it's like anything, right? Like, yeah, it's hit and miss. I know they put a bunch of BS stuff up on their channel. That's what kind of gets me. So I'm just gonna clickbait too. Look, Mom, I can clickbait too. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna frick it. We're doing it too. So yeah, I mean, okay. So any other ideas what this might be if it was not some sort of alien contraption or art project? Any other idea what it might be?
Some artwork, you know what I mean? It could be some kind of artwork out there. But again, if they did artwork, that's pretty good fucking artwork out there to stick that shit in the rock out there, that red rock, because that shit's hard as hell, man.
Yeah,
it's rock, all right. But and from what I said, like from the pictures that I seen, that they did a close up on it. It was on a TikTok. Somebody has on a TikTok where they shows the base of it, and on the base of it, like I said, if you're usually you want to make the hole bigger so you can stick that thing in there. You know what I mean? And and like you're saying, if it's about 12 feet tall, standing outside the rock, it's got to be at least 2 feet. You know what I mean? So the wind not blowing it down, or at least 4 feet down in the ground, or into the rock, so it doesn't blow over.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't know. Like if somebody said, "Hey, Mike, here's your piece of steel or whatever it was. Go put this in the rock." I wouldn't know where to start. Like I think you need at least power tools, right? You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But
yeah.
I don't know how far away from, like, have you look at the Google Maps for that? Is there like roads still out there, like kind of close, or is it just like boom in the fucking canyon somewhere?
I didn't see. So all I got was this image from Google Maps from this Twitter account. It didn't say though exactly what the coordinates are. So I'm sure somebody else has that information. I don't at this point. I every time I search this, I just get the same few articles yet. So it's not like the main. You don't get this stuff till the mainstream picks it up. Once CNN's reporting it, we'll get the exact coordinates, and you'll get some people down there, right? Like making the alien pilgrimage or whatever's going on. Yeah, I don't know, but that's a good point. Is it accessible by road or is it not? Or I don't know. I think that's something to look for.
Yeah, because it's in it. Like you're saying, it's like if you look at the pictures, it looks like it's in a cul-de-sac. You know what I mean? It's in a little round area by itself. It's not like real like you can bring a truck or some shit out there to try to lift that thing up. I like to see better pictures. You know what I mean? Where I can zoom in. If I could get coordinates, I'll have to check that out myself as well.
Yeah, if anybody out there has coordinates on this or has a source that links the coordinates, let us know. If you can't, just drop it in chat, and I'll share it back out so everybody can see, and we can maybe pull it up and look at it on the screen here. But yeah, so what it is, who knows at this point? It's anybody's guess. An art project, maybe. I mean, these things do happen. 4 years is a long time to sit in the desert without trying to show off your work, I would think. I'd be pretty anxious for somebody to find it if that was my handiwork, So if somebody put that up, they're laughing in their recliner right now, like.
I know, but if you want to do artwork, right, you kind of want to stick it out somewhere so someone can see it. You know what I mean? On a trailhead somewhere, like on the top of a mountain or on the side of a cliff, or like, you know what I mean? So it's. And no one's seen it for 4 years, except for a helicopter pilot that was flying over, and they just barely glanced over that thing.
Yeah, they clearly missed it because I mean they must count the bighorn sheep every year, right? So I mean, yeah,
so they do that.
So it's been missed. It's been missed several times at least.
And they do wild horses. You know what I mean? They do also do that for wild horses. So if they're counting out there, that's weird. I don't know, man. It's a brilliant joke if someone did it, but it's still, if you're looking at it, I mean, they put some time and work on it. And I applaud them if someone did that.
Yeah, agreed. Nice work if you're out there. Nice work. Tell us how to do it because I want to make one too. I don't want to be left out of the fun. But yeah, definitely good stuff. That's something to talk about, something to scratch your head and ponder over. Great work with from the Lost Book of Enki there. You got some actual ancient text that might have told for coming to this, huh? Which is pretty cool. If you can, if you can link.
Because, it's the age of Aquarius, so it's got to be a move. And what's crazy about it is, like, when I was, going through that, the age of Aquarius is the water bearer, which is actually going to be the age of Enki now, because he was known as the water god. That when they first got here, because Enlil, the younger brother, and the true, I guess, son of the king and queen. You know what I mean? Because his older brother Enki was a son of a concubine, but son of the king. But anyway, when he got here, he was known as the Lord of the Waters, and that's the water bearer. So, and then the star systems that line up with the Enki's drawing that he has, that he's showing like he's pouring out water, and he's kind of standing with this. They call it a fish, but they don their fish. So they must have, I believe, by listening to all that, it sounds like they have in the vast oceans that we have, there's got to be cities underwater somewhere. But anyway, yeah, that's the year of Aquarius is going to be, if you look in Sumerian tale, it's going to be the reign of Enki should be coming up, because Marduk was the ram, and his brother Enlil was the year of the Taurus, and we just got out of Pisces. Now I don't know, it's pretty crazy, man. They might be coming back.
Yeah, right. That would be something. This is the homing beacon. This is where they're going to meet when they all decide to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy stuff. If you can, man, can you link that actually, is there an online repository for the Lost Book of Enki where you can kind of link those passages you got there? I'd appreciate that.
pull something up for PDF and I'll highlight that. Or I can, you know what, I could just take a picture of it and then the two things that I have in my book and then send it. Either way, I can link it. I'll link it in there.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, man. Anything else while we got you on?
All right, man. Oh no, man! Everybody have a good night.
I appreciate it, man.
Thanksgiving. Now that I'm on air, and happy Yard Bird coming up for everybody. Just be safe out there.
There you go. And to you and your family as well, man. Thanks for calling in.
All right, thanks a lot, brother.
All right, take it easy. You too. That's Kelly from Colorado. Look at that. Look at that. Bringing up the Lost Book of Enki. And odd that I mentioned that in the Anunnaki, right? Who knows? Who knows if this is related to any of that stuff, or if this is again some sort of art project or prank or whatever else. We got a couple great comments here and some shout outs we got to do yet. Let's see. We got I think I said John. No, I did not. Rajesh from Canada. Thanks for being here tonight. Joe says it's made of cheap Chinese steel. Well, there you go. Maybe. What else do we got? Let's see. Robert says, okay, the truth. When the sun beams through the crack in the Rocky Mountains and hits the monolith, it opens a portal to another dimension. Well, there you go. Now you know. Now you know. Tamron, maybe it's been placed there as a distraction for conspiracy theorists from what's actually happening. There you go. That's next level government stuff, right? They're like, let's put this there and then we'll bring it up right during the pandemic. The plandemic. Maybe. Millie, what's up, says, it looks like it was driven into the ground. There is no evidence of the ground being dug up around it. Exactly right. Todd says the monolith is bullshit. Those guys are in mechanic suits. Okay, there you go. Perfect Todd. Perfect OG Todd. Whatever we're talking about, it's bullshit. What's up, Scully says, I think it's something to make us question reality and know there's always something more on the horizon. There you go. Even if it's a random art project. There you go, right? Mysterious art. I like it. All right. Todd says it's stainless steel. Pretty much it's an art piece. Okay, cool. Got it. Derek says kind of like the Georgia Guidestones. Yeah, wouldn't that be cool if like you put some X-ray light on it and it had like alien glyphs on it or something? Yeah, there's my imagination running wild. That would be cool. What's up, Rachel? Thanks for showing up. Says, so glad I caught tonight's show. I was hoping you would cover the object in Utah. You made it just in time. Let's see. Kurt says it's like 12 inches to 16 inches on the sides, relatively small. Okay, and then we got some coordinates in the other chat. I'll pull them up in a sec here. Kurt says it's Utah. Yeah, it's Utah. Elizabeth says monoliths have meaning, Washington Monument, etc. Yeah, exactly. Kevin, what's up, Kevin? On Facebook says knock it over. There, right? Somebody give it a good swift kick. Let's see what happens. Derek, as far as I know, there's no anything written on the monolith. It's just blank metal, blank steel, blank whatever. Let's see. Property line marker, says Larry. Decepticons. So there you go. The Decepticons property past the marker. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one. Let's see. Where's this at where they get the Burning Man together? I don't think so. I think that's Arizona. Let's see. Or Nevada. I'm sorry. Let's see. What else do we got? All kinds of good chat. Keep the chat coming, guys. Appreciate it. Let's see. All right. Tons of good stuff. All right. So somebody over here, a couple shout outs. There's a Russian name in, so I got a couple shout outs on YouTube. We got a Russian name. I'm going to call you my Russian friend. Just found this channel via Penny. Thanks for showing up tonight. Let's see. What else do we got? Boney DD. I see you there. Thanks for being here tonight. And Steven, what's up? Only a few roads, they say, down there, which I hadn't heard, but okay. Definitely cool. And then let's see, my Russian friend links the coordinates. So let's throw these coordinates out. I'll copy and paste these, and if you guys want to check it out yourself, you're welcome to do that, of course. But let's see. Here we go. Hello, Jeremy. Hello from Louisiana. How you doing? All right. Let's see. Here's the coordinates according to my new Russian friend on YouTube here. So throwing that back in there, and you guys can check it out. I'm going to see if I can pull it up, and we can take a look at this. Let's see. Who else? Steven, I said hello to. Geo, Boney. We're good. Let's see. Okay. All right, let's check this out. Let's see if we can actually pull up the Google Maps and take a look here. Let's see if we can do this and get a good look. All right. No. No. All right. Let's see. Come on, you can do it. Oh, Moab, Utah, it says. Okay, that map didn't work. Let's see. All right, give me a sec. Bear with me. Let's see if I can pull this up when we can actually have a look at this thing on straight on Google Maps. All right, let's see. Okay. Satellite view. All right. Okay. This. Okay. Yeah, there it is. All right. So that is completely correct. Those coordinates are completely correct. Thank you, my good Russian friend. I appreciate that. Here we go. We're going to take a look at this and make sure there's no personal information on this Google Maps page. All right. I think we're good. Okay. Here we go. This is from Monticello, Utah, is the city, the jurisdiction apparently, and this is exactly the spot. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at this and zoom in a little bit. So, all right. So this is the full screen. And if you zoom down on those exact coordinates, you can see there's your monolith right there, kind of right in the middle of the screen next to the red marker. Just to the left of the red marker, there it is standing there, all right? So if you zoom back out, I don't really see, maybe there's a road down this way. Let's see, that's definitely like looks like a flood channel maybe. I don't know if that's a road. But yeah, I don't see any proper roads anyway. Wow, all kinds of really cool rocks out there, though. But yeah, okay, so those are the coordinates. Thank you for finding that. I appreciate that. And yeah, I don't know. I don't see roads close by. How about you guys? I definitely do not. Let's go way out and see if we can see any roads close. No. Oh, there you go. All right, so there's a road up here. Let's go directly up above the red mark. There's like, let's say maybe 2 inches, 2.5 inches on my screen. There's a dotted line there, and that appears to be a road, but it looks like the only one that's close. So yeah, again, right? So you'd have to, let's say they came from that road. You have to hike it down there somehow. This metal piece of whatever it was, and then jam it down in the thing. Yeah, that's crazy. That's pretty nuts. That's pretty rugged terrain there. Yeah, cool. All right. I'll zoom in one more time so you guys can see if you haven't seen it. Those are the exact coordinates. Thank you again, or my Russian friend, for finding it. And what the hell's going on? What world do we live in? What is this? What is this thing? Who hiked that down to the bottom of the canyon? That's pretty crazy. Let's see. What do we got? Let's see. All right. Let's see. Okay, what else do we got? Let's see. Some good chat as always. Let's see. All right. Okay. You could easily take a 4-wheel drive down there. Yeah, you could, right? You could, sure. Right? I'm not exactly sure down to the bottom of that thing, down the bottom of the canyon, maybe go around through the flood channel. I don't know. But keep in mind, you'd have to take the tools and you'd have to take this big piece of metal and everything else down there. So just saying. Just saying. You can't just hop on the back of a quad with like a 12-foot long chunk of metal and a bunch of power tools, just FYI. So anyway, all right. So whatever you guys think it is, it's not up to me. It's up to you. You decide, and we'll keep on moving here. So if you want to talk about the monolith some more, you know what to do. I think we've kind of exhausted it. I'm going to move on and talk about other things. But if you want to, and you have a hot take on this, or you want to just talk about it a little bit more, no problem. Give me a call, 702-957-1037. You can click the Discord link, and I'm going to put the coordinates back up again. Again, thank you, my Russian friend on YouTube, for sending that. And there's your coordinates. Check them out. So just pull up a map and then paste those in, and it should take you exactly to the spot you're looking for, which is pretty cool stuff. There we go. Thank you again for pulling those coordinates. Let's see. The nearest population zone is Moab, says our Russian friend. And let's see. And it would be hard to get equipment down there, says Steven. And I kind of agree. Todd says it's easy to get there. All right, tell you what, Todd. You drive up there, and you just take your 4-wheeler down there, take a picture with it, and prove to us it's easy. Just getting there, not actually taking equipment and anything else. Just get yourself there. If anybody wants to do that, I'd love to see the picture of you down there and tell us how easy it is to get there or not. Because well, again, open to debate. Okay, so let's see. Okay. All right. Let's move on. Let's keep on moving here. All right. One more time. 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link, troubleminds.org, and you can join the show. And otherwise, let's go to, what do we got? All right. Some more stuff here. What time is it? How much time do we got? We got time to get into this shenanigan BS? Nah. Nah. All right. Let's get into, let's see. What other good stuff? We got some good stuff here. All right, here's a happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Early Thanksgiving, but this is a list of Thanksgiving restrictions. Has anybody seen this? This is for Nevada. All right, check it out. This is for Nevada, and I'm sure everybody's jurisdiction is going to be a little bit different, but this is a list of our restrictions for the holiday and beyond. So here we go. Number 1. In Nevada, private gatherings, no more than 10 people, no more than 2 households. Masks are required anytime you're around someone not part of your immediate household, both inside and outside. And what I want to know is, how are they going to enforce that? That's what I want to know. Private gatherings, those are the restrictions, right? Public gatherings, maximum 50 people, 25% of fire code capacity, blah, blah. Restaurants and bars, reservations required, maximum 25% capacity, no more than 4 customers at a table. Gyms, fitness, and dance studios, maximum 25% the capacity. Patrons must wear masks except for when drinking. Sports tournaments, all adult and youth sports tournaments will be on pause. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, just curious if you guys have some a little bit more draconian action going on with this. This is what's happening in our state. I don't know what's happening in your state, but just something to point out. Yeah. All right, here we go. Let's go here and move on from that. Just too much coronavirus is too bad. It's bad. All right, let's talk about this. Reported by CNBC.com. Jailers interrupt Ghislaine Maxwell's sleep every 15 minutes to check if she's still breathing, her lawyer says. Now, this was updated 5 hours ago, published November 24th, which is today, I believe. I'll take this phone call in just a sec. We got a call coming in. But so a lawyer for Ghislaine Maxwell, if everybody remembers, this is Jeffrey Epstein's right-hand woman, was there, collecting underage girls for him to, do what he did. So, she's there, and her lawyers are complaining that they're checking on her every 15 minutes and waking her up to see if she's still breathing. Oh, life's a bitch, isn't it? Life's a bitch. I tell you what, if you well, I mean, so it's overkill, right? It's overkill. So either you don't check on them and they end up dead, or you check on them every 15 minutes and wake them up to make sure they're still breathing and they don't get any sleep, and then eventually going to die of exhaustion. So, I mean, I don't know. Oh, the world we live in. All right, let's go to this phone call. What's up, Joe? Joe from Florida. You're on Trouble Minds with Mike. How are you doing tonight, man?
I'm okay. Can you guys hear me okay?
Perfect. Loud and clear, sir.
Very good. I hope everybody is well. Just had some comments, too. Pretty much it was in the chat, but, it's possible, and it's small enough, that monolith could go all the way through the ground to China. And when they're ready to invade us like a Trojan horse, they'll all come out of that mirror like all of Superman's enemies from the Shadow Zone.
Is that what this is? Okay, all right, I can buy that. I'll buy that for now.
Anyway, but, what I keep thinking is, they said Georgia Guidestones. It's a one-time, the Guidestones are there. This could be a one-time prank. The question is if there's other Guidestones. Only because, I was looking, I'm thinking of crop circles. Crop circles we see. Maybe some crop circles are fake and can be explained, but not every crop circle can be explained away. Who knows if those guys in the helicopter, it's obvious that there's, I don't know what they were counting, sheep, gerbils. I don't know what they were counting out there in a helicopter, but there's some kind of wildlife around there. So who knows if it was dropped off in the chopper 4 years earlier? We don't know, and maybe there are some roads there. I think it's a hoax, personally. Weathering, yeah, it probably has some weathering, maybe better than what we could see in the picture. But it's a good joke. If it was really something serious, would we know? Wouldn't the government have scooped that up by now? Kind of like Roswell?
Yeah.
But, getting to a couple of other things like you were talking about here. Florida's open for business. Everybody else has got lockdowns. I talked to a friend of mine in Oregon tonight, actually. She said they can't leave the house. It's crazy. Here in Florida, we're totally wide open, for better or for worse. You already know, and I've got a funeral. I've got a personal funeral on Friday for somebody that's 45 years old. All we did was, on the obituary, we basically put all are welcome. There is a mask order in place for the business. We're going to take your temperature. If you do not feel comfortable with that, then there's a webcast. Everybody has the option. That's all we can do to keep everybody safe. But Florida in itself has not closed. That's fine. We have tourism, and we have to keep the business going. But out of respect for other people, I wear a mask. That's it. I've had people in my house this week. They haven't worn masks. I haven't been a mask Nazi, and my neighbors have not complained. They'll call or ratted me out. At some point in time, you take your chances. And, that's what we've been saying since the beginning of this. You want to open things up. You want to have Thanksgiving. You want to have this. You want to have that. At some point in time, you have to take your chances. How much risk are we willing to take?
And not only
what can we
that,
do?
Is it our risk, or is it the government telling us what risks we're allowed to adopt into our own life? I think that's probably the biggest thing. Again, I'm with you. I'm not anti-mask either. No,
but you make a good point, because here's another question that I'd have to ask you. If any one of us by choice went to a rally, did some bullshit in the street, if anybody was caught on camera, let's face it, we're in a surveillance state. Let's say any one of us was out in public. I'm going to try to go play ice hockey tomorrow. Let's say I get sick. I show up at a hospital. They show me a video and they say, hey, look, it was your choice to be an asshole. It's our choice not to give you service. Would that be allowed?
Yeah, I mean, it's a private business, right? Of course. I think so. And I think that's fine. I think that's totally fine too. It just, again, are you allowed yourself, or, it's one thing if it's like if you act like a fool in somebody's house, they can kick you out, right? Ask you to leave, or, go get the shotgun. If you won't leave, go get the shotgun and make you leave. You know what I mean? So it's like, it just kind of comes down to that, are we allowed the risk, or does somebody else get to tell us what risk we're allowed? It's basic, but it's also, like I always say, if freedom and liberty is a philosophical thing. So it's not so face value as that.
And it's a great argument. And then whatever that argument ends up being, it's consistent, because all we have seen in the United States, speaking in the United States, I know there's a Russian listening out there, and I hate to almost say to that Russian that your guy's probably doing a better job than ours. Dare I say any of that? Or the Chinese, because it seems like if it all originated there, they were prepared for it, oddly enough. But in our country, we have boondoggled it since the beginning.
Yeah.
We could argue who's to blame, who's not to blame, but we have been wholly inconsistent. Democratic cities are having large outbreaks. We have a Republican president that didn't take, that flip-flopped on the measure and fought with his own cabinet. Everybody's to blame. And then the other question I have is, the National Institute of Health gets financed by taxpayers. Even though this cure seems to have been founded purely on private money, in the United States and other countries are going to purchase these medications with taxpayer dollars. But should we pay twice? You follow what I'm saying?
I don't want to pay once, let alone twice.
But some people have different opinions. I mean, maybe I don't want to take that vaccine, but maybe $100. I'll tell you the truth. My wife's, some of my wife's employees, they don't make much an hour. They couldn't afford to get a COVID test if they had to get one on their own. $75 or $100. I mean, that's a whole other question. And when you start looking down that road, what happens if you start vaccinating, but other people can't afford it, don't want to take it, don't want to do it, and this thing just lingers? kind of like smallpox coming back, you know? So which way do we go? Other countries are making it mandatory, and their people are lying down. At what point do we have freedom? At what point do we have security? I'm not advocating anything. We are all clearly here to play devil's advocate or ask those questions.
Yeah,
you know,
I think more important.
Our freedom is, you know.
Yeah, it's just important to think about. Important to think about. Important to talk about, and know that there's options. You know, than just what you're told. That's all. You know, like you know, down with the man. You know, what we say, rage against the machine, whatever you want to call it. But it's just there's it's not about the government dictating the risks you're allowed to take in your own life. That's not what a government's for. I'm sorry. It's just not. It's just not.
It's supposed to be in the interest of the people.
Right.
And, you know, to be that overreaching, set standards, but they're doing it, whether we like it or not.
Yeah, they're trying to. Like I said,
whether it's 9/11, the Reichstag fire, 9/11, a pandemic, we beat this horse in the head. We know that. You know. Let me ask you this. We'll change the subject if you haven't seen it. I posted the article. I read it today. Have you seen about the gas or the thermal digging, where in Italy they've dug 2 miles underneath the earth, and they've reached temperatures over 1,000 degrees without having an earthquake to try and harness power?
I have not seen that. You put that in the Discord?
I just posted in the Discord now. I was reading it this morning, but you know, privately, as you know, I've had some big issues going on here at the house, and I haven't had time to take leisure time as much as I'd like to. But I just posted it now because I was going through my Facebook scroll, and I'm like, oh, I forgot to post it. But it was an interesting article about how they've dug down 2 miles. They've done it before, and earthquakes have occurred. But they could possibly successfully either pump water into these holes to generate them back up as steam and harness them as generators. And something about liquid, you know, down at that depth of 2 miles that could generate power. Just geothermal vents or geothermal powers. But the danger is that if they drill the wrong way, and it's happened, I guess, in the past, a rock will slip and possibly cause a bad earthquake. And I think in the article it cites some previous earthquakes. Just interesting. You know, we have fracking and all these other things that we do for energy. I mean, even if we do electric cars, everybody that's listening knows that even digging in Africa to get those materials is very labor and resource intensive just to get fucking batteries. And the batteries even make waste. So what do we do long term for energy?
That's a good question. I think we make allies with the alien presence and just get the 0 point energy and we're good to go. That's probably the best way.
A long time ago, I had a teacher in school, and he told me the Indians, and I mean the Indians in India, not the Native Americans. Please, I don't want to be derogatory in any way, but the Indians in India were trying to invest money, and he called it the E machine, and we all looked at him like, Mr. Gray, what the fuck are you talking about? And this was like in 1990. But apparently, the E machine, you know, was probably the equivalent of a solar panel, except that it wouldn't just be solar energy. It would be all the gamma energy and all the energy that we get bombarded with from space consistently and constantly. You know, the 0 point energy, I think if I'm correct, is, you know, probably something where you have to open up a wormhole and suck the energy right out of
it's something we're not even close to having. That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. You know, something stable. But anyway, so that's about it. If you got anything else you want to talk about, if not, I'll hang up and let somebody else call in.
Yeah, no, I got tons of stuff to talk about. Good. I hadn't seen this. This is a good spot on this article. I'll take a look and see if we can maybe dig into this a little bit further. If you catch my drift, dig. But yeah, I wanted to say to you, sorry for your loss. I know this is one of those times where things are kind of upside down and backwards, and Yeah, just stay safe, take care of the family, and again, like Joe said, he just lost somebody that was 45 years old. That's far too young for that stuff. So, thoughts and prayers.
So that's the other thing, guy. So here's a warning. I'm sorry to cut you off. I appreciate the words.
Go for it.
But here's something that I'm going to tell everybody. This is the funeral director's safety. If you have not seen a doctor because you have fucking fear of getting the COVID, okay, go see a doctor, because I've only spent like $100 on medical care this year. That's it, because I have not been to a doctor. Okay. My sister-in-law, unfortunately, looks like had an undiagnosed heart condition. They thought it was something else. I mean, she had some underlying conditions, but it was still unexpected. And, now we're dealing with it. And that's it. So anybody out there that's listening, if you can get into a doctor, if you can just get a little checkup, even just some blood work, so you know where you stand, go ahead and do it. Because the year from March to now, I'm sure a lot of us haven't seen a doctor. If you can, just keep an eye on yourself. And that's what I wish for everybody listening, because we like our listeners, and we want them to be here with us.
Amen,
God
brother.
bless, and good night, guys.
Amen, brother. God bless you and the family. Stay safe. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks for the call. That's Joe from Florida. As everybody, most people know, he's a funeral director down there in Florida. So, he was still a very valuable resource in what's actually happening in his particular state with the COVID deaths and these types of things. Right? He can kind of tell you if there's a spike in this sort of thing, because he's actually the one seeing the bodies. Right? So it's it is a thing. It is good. It is good knowing people in different places like this, different professions, because again, right? Like how would you know? How would I know without somebody on the inside kind of telling us whether it's hopping or not? So anyway, just there you go. I appreciate the call, guys. All right, so let's see, what do we got? Let's do if anybody wants to call in, you know what to do. 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link. Let's look at a UFO video. I went through and I was trying to find some. It looks like for now the search functions on what you call it is on YouTube is fixed. So here's a YouTube video that I saw this, and it's an actual real life UFO footage. So let's take a look at this. Well, since we are a UFO show, and let's do that. Let's take a look. Here we go. Linked it if you guys want to check it out full screen, and here we go.
See that dot right there? That is a UFO. It's been moving like crazy.
Okay, so you can see behind the branches there's like literally just like a dot, like a glowing dot of whatever it is. You can't really see. He's got like what appears to be a handheld camera of some sort. I don't know if it's his phone or if it's a better camera than that. Okay, so it's kind of sitting there. It kind of looks like a plane coming in directly at him, right? And it just doesn't seem to be moving much, so it might be way out there. I don't know. Anyway, but watch what happens to this thing in a second, right? So apparently he was watching it for a little bit, and it was doing weird shit in the sky, and that's when he got his camera. So now when he started recording, it's not really doing anything. It's just sitting there. But watch. This thing starts to get wacky in a second.
I'm very zoomed in. Look at how it lit up right now. Look at how it lit up right now. It's turning different colors. Guys, this is a real UFO. I'm with my fucking dog out here working.
Same thing. It just kind of chilling, staying in one spot. You can't really see the color change with the phone. Maybe he sees it with his naked eye. All right. Shit's about to get weird.
Shit is crazy. Do you see what it's doing?
Okay. Now it's starting to move. Look at this shit.
Do you see this? Do you see this? Do you see this? Do you see how it's moving? Do you see how this is moving?
Okay, so this thing, it sat there for a long time, just kind of stationary, and then it just chugged off to the right super fast, took a dip down, directly down toward the ground, at least from his perspective, and this thing's still moving around, kind of straight down. This is no airplane, guys. Whatever this is not an airplane. All right. So again, right, we talk about videos. Are they fake? Are they not fake? I don't know. This one to me is a little more compelling than some of the ones we've seen. He's got, he seems to be out there in the middle of nowhere. He busted out a camera. He was watching it before that moment. He saw it doing some weird shit, grabbed his camera like any of us would, right? We'd be like, oh shit, what is that? Grab your camera, start recording. And yeah, so I don't know. What do you think? UFO? Not UFO? Not UFO? Yeah, definitely. I don't know. I have no idea, but it definitely was not a plane. I'll tell you that for sure. 100%. A hoax. I'm not so sure it's a hoax. And let's do one more. Actually, we had Martin send this in. I was talking about the whatchamacallits this past couple times with the minks, right? Remember I talked about the minks and how they're going to murder 15 million of them because they caught COVID and they don't want to spread to people, or right. Anyway, so Martin sent this from Sweden. Martin in Sweden, what's up? Shout out, buddy. He usually watches us on our archive. So hello to you. Thanks for sharing this stuff. Everybody else, thanks for sharing too. We got tons of good articles, tons of good information on the Discord. If you have not joined it yet, please do. Okay, here we go. This is from Martin on the Discord. He shared this. Now it's in Swedish, so unless you read Swedish. He translated it for us though. He said he had to share it because I brought it up on the show regarding the minks. He says apparently the Danish now deceased minks were buried in a field 1 meter down, which is about three or 4 feet. He says it's 3 feet actually. And he says, but they are popping out of the ground due to swelling and internal gases. So now they have mutated corona zombie minks. 2020. Let's see. What's up? A couple more great comments here, and then we'll get to the meat and potatoes of this. Actually, we got a little bit of time. If anybody has comments on any of this stuff so far, so good. You're always welcome during the show. Give us a call, 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link, troubledminds.org. Robert says, it amazes me that the government is so puzzled by the massive resistance to the COVID narrative, when the lies and criminality of the banks, pharmaceutical manufacturers, and government over the last 40 years more has created a good reason for the majority of Americans to not trust any of those institutions, what they say or do. And I couldn't agree more. And that's why we're here talking about this stuff, right? It's because they try and smooth it over. They try and make it seem like everything's under control, right? As long as you listen to the powers that be. And that's not the case at all, right? If anybody knows even a little bit of history, and we're talking like 6 weeks ago, you can dig out all kinds of shit where you're like, no, no. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm not an anti-vaxxer. All right. I'm not. But I want to know, is anybody like going to race out and grab this vaccine as soon as it's available, as soon as you can get it? Just curious. Just taking a poll, impromptu poll. Yeah, like a rushed, limited size virus or vaccine. Yeah. Well, yeah. Anyway, let's see. Marge, thanks for showing up tonight. I see you on YouTube. Fred from Phoenix, thanks for being here. Who else? Let's see. I have not heard of the Hidden Underbelly 2.0 on YouTube. I have not. That's somebody I should check out. Definitely. Okay. So, all right. Let's see. We got a couple more. If anybody wants to call, you know what to do. I'm going to get some conspiracy news. We're not out of time just yet. Let's do this. We got some other good stuff. Hold on. Let's go. How about this one? Here's some good news for some people that may not have been so good for. What's up, Garth? I see you there. Thanks for being here tonight. Thanks for sharing. All right, this is from CNN, my favorite, the most trusted source in news. This was reported recently, couple 3 days ago, something like that. November 21st, to be precise. A Mount Rainier hiker was essentially dead for 45 minutes until a team of Seattle doctors revived his heart. There you go. That's kind of cool, right? Let's read a little bit of this. A hiker who was found in whiteout conditions on Washington's Mount Rainier came back from the dead, his doctor said, after his heart stopped for 45 minutes. Michael Nepinski, 45 years old, was put on life support after arriving at Harborview Medical Center in Seattle, Washington last week. But doctors were able to jumpstart his heart. He came back from the dead, Dr. Janelle Badulak, an intensive care unit doctor at Harborview Medical Center, told CNN. It was a miracle, though. It wasn't a miracle, though. It was science, she says. Okay. The Washington native was hiking on the national park last week when he got lost in below freezing conditions. Navy crews found him lifeless, according to CNN affiliate WPVI TV. Quote, Michael was unconscious, had extreme hypothermia, and his heart stopped shortly after he arrived at the ER, Badulak told CNN. But he did have a pulse and no major injuries, so we all immediately thought of ECMO. I don't know what the hell that means. Let's see. The team of doctors quickly decided he would be the perfect patient for the life support machine known as ECMO, extracorporeal membrane oxygenation, Badulak said. Now I know what it means, ECMO. The specialized heart-lung bypass machine removes blood from the body and runs it through an oxygenator before pumping it back in. So they took his blood out, ran it full of oxygen, pumped it back in. The treatment does not guarantee recovery, but can sometimes be life-saving. Badulak said the reason the team chose this particular machine, which doctors use sparingly because it requires special training to operate, is because Napinski's organs were so cool from the freezing conditions that the organs were able to function with less oxygen, which essentially buys doctors more time to restart the heart. So there we go. There's a good story that could have ended up bad. And speaking of oxygen pumped into the body, and remember we talked about that immortality bit not too long ago? There's an update on that. Let me see. Let's see if I can find this. And then we'll get to another really quick fantastic conspiracy to show you even how small a conspiracy might be. We'll do that, and then we'll finish up the segment here, and then move on to the rest after this. What time is it? They got all right. Got a few minutes. All right. This is reported by the Jerusalem Post, and we talked about this last show. I think it was last show. So okay, here we go. Israeli scientists claim to reverse the aging process, right? We talked about this. We are going backwards in time, Professor Shai Efrati said. Efrati, I don't know how to say that. Okay, anyway, right. The point being that if you pump a bunch of oxygen into, let's read it. Israel scientists say they've managed to successfully reverse the biological aging process using only oxygen. Recent research led by Tel Aviv University's Professor Shai Efrati, together with a team from Shamir Medical Center, found that when healthy adults over the age of 64 were placed in a pressurized chamber and given a pure oxygen for 90 minutes a day, 5 days a week for 3 months, not only was the aging process delayed, it was actually reversed, right? We talked about this. And I was like, oh, okay, you can get one of these things, right? You can buy one of these and they're like 22 grand. And I was like, no shit, like really, this is a thing. So of course it's a small sample size. It's only over several weeks, 3 months actually in total. So you can't really say this is like legit yet. It's a small sample size. Is what kind of regression happens? Do they need to continue this treatment anyway? So they put them in these machines. These what are they called? I can't remember. Let's see. Let's read some of this. Hey, so remember the telomere we were talking about the chromosomes. Okay, so specifically the study, which is published in a peer-reviewed journal Aging, focused on whether the process could reverse two key indicators of biological aging: the shortening of DNA telomeres and the accumulation of resultant senescent cells. Okay, so a telomere is at the end of a chromosome, and they are made of repetitive sequences of non-coding DNA that serve as bumpers to protect the chromosome from damage during replication. Every time replication happens, these bumpers take a hit, making them shorter and shorter, right? So they can tell basically how old you are with just from your blood, because they look at the telomeres, and they know if you have, based on how long or short they are, they can tell you how young or old you are. But now this is the thing. So they didn't stop the aging process. Apparently these things started reversing the size. Okay. But here's the thing, right? So I was like, okay, if you can get these things, and this is something that seems to be a thing, people should start doing this, right? Okay. So, but it wasn't as simple as that. So they here we go. Every 20 minutes, the participants were asked to remove their masks for 5 minutes, bringing their oxygen back to normal levels. However, during this period, researchers saw that fluctuations in the free oxygen concentration were interpreted at the cellular level as a lack of oxygen, rather than interpreting the absolute level of oxygen. So they're gaming the how the body perceives the oxygen levels based on what you're getting or not. So it's almost like an oxygen deprivation, and then like an overdose situation, like back and forth. So it's a little more than just hopping in the little oxygen box and hanging out for 90 minutes or whatever. So there's more to it than just what we said the first time around, which I didn't know the details. Now there's additional details. I didn't read the paper myself, but the guy says about the hyperbaric chambers. Don't get one. Don't do it at home. He said there's a lot of junk out there claiming sacks inflated with air are hyperbaric chambers. This is what's being used in the studies. It is not effective, and moreover, it could be dangerous. So there you go. So yeah, just additional information in case anybody mortgages a farm to buy some hyperbaric chambers for you and your family to stay alive for another, who knows, dozen or 100 years, or dozens and hundreds of years. I don't know. Anyway, there you go. That there's more to this. And actually, let me link the paper. They actually linked the paper in this one, which is pretty cool because on the other article I had, which was kind of breaking, we actually had it had just hit. This one has the actual scientific paper linked. So let me pull this out, and you guys can check this out and read it if you prefer to do it that way, and actually read the science, which is probably the best way instead of the clickbait BS that they try and jam down our throats on the daily. Okay, here we go. Linking it. You guys can check it out. And let's see. Yes, thank you, Penny. Penny's the thumbs up captain over there. I appreciate it. Everybody thumbs up on YouTube if you have not yet. It helps the algorithms. Leave comments on the videos. It helps algorithms as well, etc. So on. I appreciate all that. And everybody on Facebook, share and like and talk and what's up. Robert says they create the disease just to sell the cure, just as they create the wars so they can sell the weapons. Well, like I say, you win some, you lose some. Well. Yeah, all right. Okay, hold on. Now here's how small conspiracies can get, and then we'll take a quick break and we'll come back and we'll talk about all the crazy conspiracies that they said couldn't happen, and then 2020 showed up. All right? No, because it's crazy. Because this is crazy. Hold on. Oh, come on. I think this thing. Oh, I reached my maximum. Oh, dick. Okay, here we go. I'm going to just do it this way. This is how small, because this is going to be short. This is how small conspiracies can get. This is from thebendbulletin.com, Bend, Oregon. And Bend doctor sues his psychiatrist who was having an affair with his wife. All right. No, sorry. No. Bend doctor sued. Okay, so this guy went to a psychiatrist because his marriage was falling apart. Damn it. See? It just... Okay. Yeah. Anyway, let's see. I can't get it. They locked me out because I can only view it two times. Okay. Long story short. The guy was going to a psychiatrist because his marriage was falling apart. And this psychiatrist was the guy that was having an affair with his wife. Right? Yeah. So then, of course, the marriage falls apart. The guy's like in shambles. And then he finds this out after the fact, and he's suing the doctor. So anyway, my point is a conspiracy can be very, very small. Can it not? All right. Let's take a quick couple-minute break and play some music, and then we'll be back, and we're going to talk about the crazy conspiracies that nobody thought were possible a year ago. Right? You bring it up, and people are like, "No, you are nuts. You're way out there. This conspiracy theory has got to stop, Mike. You got to stop talking about this. It's making you ill. I tell you what." Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? Let's see what 2020 brought us. All right, quick break, 2 minutes, and then we're going to be right back to talk about those things. And, okay. All right, here we go. So let's play some music. And 2 minutes, everybody take a quick break. Put your feet up, or get yourself a drink, or hit the restroom, or do whatever you got to do. Grab a snack, grab some popcorn. We're going to talk about more conspiracy when we get back. And for the time being, let's play this one. All right, and we're back, Just a quick breaking it down, a couple minute break here, making sure that everybody's got the things they need to do to continue soldiering on, and let's talk some conspiracy, shall we? All right, so this is from thetruthseeker.co.uk, and I thought this was fantastic, and this is published today. It's just too good. It was just too good. I was just, per usual, I'm just kind of reading around, looking for this, looking for that, and kind of just trying to stay up on the news because, you end up in one of those situations where you don't pay attention and they're getting shit by you, I don't like them getting things by me. So I like to pay attention, and then whatever startling revelations I have, I like to share with you guys. So here we go. Joe says the intermission music sounds like you have cows dying and mooing. No, there's no cows dying over here, buddy. No cows dying. All right, so this is 7 things that used to be crazy conspiracy theories. Actually, let's see. Yeah, we got it up on screen. Okay. 7 things that used to be crazy conspiracy theories until 2020. And this is written by an individual named Daisy Luther, Luther. And this is hilarious and true. What's up, Mooney Gucci Show? How you doing? I see you on Periscope. Thanks for hanging out with us. Okay, let's see. Shout outs to anybody I miss. I think we're good. Yeah, no cows dying. We're good here. Okay, now check this out. Now, so not only is this person absolutely spot on, all right, but I got examples for every one of these things. 7 things that used to be crazy conspiracy theories until 2020. All right. Here we go. Let's see. Let's play. I'm gonna have Microsoft. I didn't have time to clip these out, so I'm gonna have Microsoft Mike read some of this. So this is straight from the article, which is fantastic. And here you go. First bit. Daisy Luther, the organic prepper, November 23rd, 2020.
Remember back in the old days of, say, 2019, when anyone who talked about microchip implants, Americans being forced to show travel papers, and re-education camps was thought to be a crazy conspiracy theorist. And then 2020 rolled around and voila. It turns out those conspiracy theories weren't so crazy after all. And I'm not just talking about the government releasing info about UFOs. We're living in a time when someone will attempt to beat the crap out of you, burn your house down, or even kill you if you voted for the wrong presidential candidate. We're being subjected to curfews, our movement is restricted, and our businesses have been forcibly shut down. One day, people will look back on this as the year that everything changed, or depending on how Americans respond to the mandates, the year we finally said enough.
The year we finally said enough. Isn't that fantastic? If you guys want that functionality to have it be read to you like that, just use what is this called? It's a Microsoft Edge. And you just highlight it, right click, and it'll read it aloud to you. I find it fantastic for when you're doing something else. You just want to have an article read to you, and it's pretty good stuff. But okay, all right. So let's go. Here are the 7 things that were considered crazy conspiracy theories until now. All right, let's go with the first one here. Universal basic income. Does everybody remember this? Not literally 1 year ago, right? We had political wise in the United States. Got to make sure you specify that in the United States. We had the Democrats having their little get together where they called each other names and tried to be the vice presidential candidate, right? What's it called? I don't know. I'll just call it a shit show. That's what I'm calling it. Okay, but Andrew Yang was actually one of those candidates, and he was always talking about universal basic income, and his basic premise was that we ended up needing it because of automation and some other things, right? He had a pretty good he sold it pretty well, I thought, right? But if you brought this up, it's like a dystopian thing. This is a conspiracy theory. Nobody will take this seriously, right? And most people didn't take him seriously because that's not the mainstream position at this point, right? Because, well, it's a conspiracy theory. Well, he kind of brought it and made it not so. All right, so let's check this out. Welcome to 2020. 22 million jobs were lost, and only 42% of those were recovered by last August when the country began to reopen. Millions of the lost jobs were permanent losses as businesses across the country fold under the weight of the restrictions that either don't allow them to operate or the money problems of their former customers, right? Double whammy. and they end up closing. By the way, I'm going to go tomorrow. I should have done it earlier, but I'm going to go donate some food to the food bank here in Vegas because the people are hurting out there, guys. I highly encourage you, if you have the means, to do something similar. It doesn't have to be much, just a little bit, because people are out there in food lines miles long. I don't know if it's that long here in Vegas, but hospitality industry hit hard because people can't travel and casinos closed down. We're hit hard. So there's a lot of people in distress. So just FYI, it's a thing, and this is a part of what we're talking about here. So it continues. It's clear that the pandemic is doing some fundamental damage to the job market, said Mark Zandi, chief economist for Moody's Analytics. A lot of the jobs lost aren't coming back anytime soon. The idea that the economy is going to snap back to where it was before the pandemic is clearly not going to happen. And I think that's obvious. I think there's no doubt about that. We're kind of screwed. And so it's bizarre, right? So you think just a year ago, bringing up a universal basic income seemed alien. It seemed so far off the beaten path that made no sense whatsoever economically. And now we're just slashing millions of jobs and millions of businesses like it's going out of style. So anyway, here we go. So here's the here's some we're going to go back to this first article and talk about that as we go. But yeah, so yeah, wait, hold on, wait a minute here. Did I get that? No. I think I skipped this one. I was going to just glaze over this. Okay, let's just read the rest of this. But okay, everybody good out there? Let's see. What else is going? Let's see. Debate. What's up, Kurt? Kelly says, okay, Mike, here's the link for the Lost Book of Enki. One mention of the heavenly bright object. It's the top of the page 208. All right, here we go. I'm going to link that. I'm going to copy that, and we're going to share that. Because why the hell not? We were talking about that weird monolith in Utah, right? So, and Kelly brought up some interesting stuff from the Lost Book of Enki. So let's check this out. I'm going to drop this link if you guys have not seen it yourself. And there we go. Top of page 208. If you want to check it out and read some of this, here we go. All right, there we go. Lost Book of Enki. There you are. Appreciate it, my man. Okay, good stuff. All right, so back to what are we talking about? Not the Ben Bulletin. No. Oh, there we go. All right. Okay. So again, not that long ago, right? It seemed like this was so far off the beaten path, and now, like, we got people waiting in food lines miles long. All right, and so we still have in the United States and I think Canada's different, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. If anybody's out there in Canada, that they're actually paying people like 2,000 Canadian quibits a month to stay home or something like that, right? Like for the people that can't, or something like that. Like there's like a comprehensive something happening in Canada, as far as I'm aware. All right, that's what I've been told. I can't verify that because I don't live there. But here in the States, we got one lousy payment of $1,200 like months ago, right? Which basically any account is not even enough for one single month, let alone to be hanging on that 6 months later, right? So, okay, anyway, you get the point, right? So things changed so hard and so fast in 2020 that this UBI, Universal Basic Income, was kind of a laughing stock politically, and now suddenly it may or may not be. This continues. Even though we don't know if the historical record will hold is true, it's an extremely valid concern that not all of those people are going to get called back. People who are counting on businesses reopening the doors may be surprised to find that a temporary loss has become a permanent one. Yeah. Of businesses that have closed, many will never reopen. Most harshly affected were small businesses. About 60% of businesses that have closed during the coronavirus pandemic will never reopen, and restaurants have suffered the most, according to new data from Yelp. And here's the source. Okay, so anyway, that was one, right? And I thought it was interesting politically that it was finally getting a little bit of talk. Not that I think it really necessarily should just yet. A year ago, but I don't know. Like there's some really harsh stuff happening out there. The moratorium evictions are being lifted. People are on the streets, right? And they're in food bank lines. Like it's getting ugly. Okay. All right. So anyway, there's the first one. All right. There's number one. Okay. And there's a lot here on universal basic income. There's a lot. Again, I'm gonna link this if you guys want to follow along and you can see where we're headed. But I have many examples for what's going on here. All right. So it's not just one person saying it in this article. There's a ton of actual evidence to back all this stuff up, and the universal basic I just did. All right, so there you go. Everybody knows what's going on. All you have to do is look out and see how your governor or whatever is shutting things down. And by the way, they're out, living the high life. Could give a shit, right? Or my favorite Cuomo brother in New York is going to be having his mom home for Thanksgiving, right? When he's telling everybody else not to travel and not to see their family, right? And again, I'm not making commentary on whether you should or you shouldn't. That's up to you. I'm saying that these hypocritical bastards shouldn't be telling us not to and then doing it themselves. That's what I'm saying. A leader isn't about do as I say and not do as I do. They're supposed to set an example. It's part of being a public servant, not gobbling up the fat of the land and living in the mansions and telling us what the hell to do, right? So Cuomo, you're an asshole. There you go. I said it. Okay. All right. So anyway, UBI, let's get off of this. Let's go to part two. Let's go to part two of this. Part two is this. Travel papers. Yeah, travel papers. What's up? Bandycats on YouTube says, yes, Canada response benefit. Yeah, so there's something going on, right? It's kind of like a temporary universal basic income, okay? So there's definitely something going on there. But here, again, Pelosi and McConnell are just kicking back and forth doing not a damn thing because all they care is about the win for the party. They could give a shit about you or me or anybody else. All the while, we got people out of jobs, businesses closing, people in long food lines, etc., so on. Okay, anyway, so here we go. Number 2, travel papers, right? Here it goes. Don't be ridiculous. We'll never have to show our papers to travel freely in the United States, right? That's one of the conspiracies. A mere 1 year ago, at this point, if you brought this up, you were insane, right? Let me see your papers, friend, right? Right, your Nazi papers, as some have referred to it, right, as a tongue-in-cheek sort of, yeah. Well, not until a COVID pandemic with all its subsidiary restrictions occurred. Back in March, days after I warned about the first lockdown, I wrote, and here, let's just, so I don't have to read this huge block of text. This is what this individual wrote. This is, what's her name? Fantastic writer, Daisy Luther. So here we go. This is on travel papers, and this is what she wrote back in March. Days after I warned about the first lockdown, she wrote this.
For everyone who thought the article about the lockdown of America was a hysterical overstatement and that they could still do whatever they wanted because it wasn't really being enforced, what are you thinking now that travel papers are being handed out? To me, this sounds like the lockdowns I wrote of yesterday were just the first incremental step toward a society that nobody hopes to see. Yesterday, readers sent me photos of travel papers provided to them by employers so they could get to and from work. These are employees who work in industries like healthcare, pharmacies, and food service, as well as those who work in the production, transport, and sales of essential supplies. One reader wrote, "We were told to show these if we got stopped on the way to or from work, and that if the authorities gave us any trouble, to not argue, and just go back home."
There you go, right? So we actually talked about this right when it happened, because I had a friend of mine say that he was deemed an essential worker, and his work actually provided him particular papers that would do exactly that. If they ran into a checkpoint and weren't allowed out into a particular area, they were told to go back home and quarantine. They actually had travel papers that said, I'm an essential employee, and here's where I work, and here's my ID, and there's your papers. All right. And there's one example, right? There's more. So that was just when this first happened. This was, again, back in March, right? This is March. Doesn't March seem like a lifetime ago? This was back in March. All right. And so notably, I want to make this point too. Back in January, we were talking about the coronavirus on this show. The entire mainstream was impeaching Orange Man Bad and doing their political shit show, slinging back and forth whatever kind of garbage they were calling each other, and not even looking at this, knowing full well that China was dealing with this thing, and our Congress wasn't doing a damn thing about it. They ignored it, as a matter of fact. And now they want to point fingers and blame everybody else but themselves. Just want to point it out. And the other thing I want to say about that is I made very clear that if this virus is good or bad, right? At that point, we didn't know. But if this turns out bad, the smart people would not only be concerned about the virus, they would be concerned about how much the government would take in using it as something to, what would you say? Take away your freedom. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Travel papers. Let's go to this right here. Bloomberg. All right. Yeah. And this continues. This is not a one-time thing, right? Where you get the essential worker papers and you get to bypass the checkpoints or whatever. Here, there's more. And this is I got sources, right? I always got sources, guys. So this is from Bloomberg. COVID passports seen as key to resuming international travel. Oh, you don't say. Your papers, please. Global airline lobby IATA is working on a mobile app that will help travelers demonstrate their coronavirus-free status, joining a push to introduce so-called COVID passports to speed up the revival of international travel. The travel pass will display test results together with proof of inoculation, as well as listing national entry rules and details on the nearest labs, according to the International Air Transport Association. The app will also link to an electronic copy of the holder's passport to prove their identity. A test program will begin with British Airways parent IAGSA this year before arriving on Apple devices in the first quarter of 2021 and Android from April. The IATA said travelers will be able to share their status with border authorities or present a QR code for scanning. You may as well just tattoo it on your neck. We need to have global rules and standards on measures like rapid testing and vaccination so there can be a step forward for the industry. Peter Elbers, the head of the Dutch arm of Air France KLM, said in a Bloomberg TV interview Tuesday, the health advances will definitely help to restore confidence in travel. Qantas Airways Limited said a COVID-19 vaccination will be a necessity for its international passengers who are approved and distributed. Yeah. All right. So there we go. Right. So not only your papers for you're an essential or employee or not. Right. Okay. Now it gets worse. It's not just this. Right. So this is air travel. Okay. We got air travel. No problem. Oh, look, I get a free offer of my monthly limit of free content is about to expire on Bloomberg. I get a free offer. I can claim it. No, thanks. All right. So we got this is by jamesfetzer.org. All right. Now this continues. It's not just that. It's not just the airline travel, right? Where you're going to have your papers, please. In this case, it'll be the digital papers, but your papers, please. James Fetzer reports this. World leaders are planning new lockdowns to introduce the World Debt Reset Program, which includes universal basic income and vaccination requirements. Okay, oops, that's back to the UBI. All right, so world leaders are preparing for a second wave. I think we already skipped that. Let's see. I thought I was in. Oh, yeah. Actually, here. These are actually universal basic income links. I think I got these out of order. I'm going to drop these real quick, and you guys can check them out if you're interested in this type of conversation, which I hope you are, and I hope that's why you're here. But take them from the source, right? I think that's important to go read the source and then find out their source and the rest of this. Okay, but let's see. All right. Let's see. UBI. Yeah, I think I got these out of order is what happened. There we go. Okay. All right. There's those three. Then we have this. All right. Let's whitelist this. Let's get the ads. Show us the ads. We want the material. We got to do the ads. Okay. Here we go. So now we're talking about in Europe. They're going to test it in the United Kingdom. You need your papers, please. Right. You need a digital certificate that proves that you're inoculated or you've had it or both or whatever the hell, right? Whatever they stipulate for you to be able to travel. All right, here's another one from Cron.com. California lawmakers travel to Hawaii despite COVID-19 surge and travel advisory. All right, now this is exactly part of the problem and what we're talking about and why we do this. Just like I said, that Cuomo asshole in New York, right, locks down the state, gives the mandates. You can only have this many people in your house. You shouldn't travel. You shouldn't see your mother. You shouldn't do these things, right? And again, I'm not arguing whether you should or not. Please don't take it that way. I'm saying that these assholes are telling us what to do, and then they're not doing the same thing themselves. That's what I'm saying. So here we go. A nationwide surge in COVID-19 cases and statewide travel advisory didn't stop a group of California lawmakers from flying to Hawaii for a 4-day conference this week. Yeah, just a 4-day conference, right? We're gonna fly from here to there, 4-day conference. Everybody else is locked down, no travel, etc., so on. This is November 17th. This is this week. The annual policy conference hosted by the Independent Voter Project, a San Diego-based nonprofit group, has fewer people attending this year, but according to Politico, about 100 lawmakers and lobbyists from multiple states still made the trip to Maui. Your papers, please. You don't need them. You don't need them if you're a politician, do you? Or a lobbyist, or you're in the right crew, right? It's a big club and we ain't in it. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Let's see. Kurt says, flip off Gates and his QR code BS. And then, so Gruesome can have his 300-person birthday party eating in a restaurant. Do as I say, not as I do. Exactly right. Exactly right. Anyway, okay. So you see where we're headed with this. This is going to turn into a tumbleina, let's call it, of all of these things that were supposedly conspiracies a year ago, and now all of them are supposedly becoming true, right? And they're in different levels of happening, but they're happening. And to even suggest this a year ago, people looked at you like you were the batshit insane person, right? No, no. One simple little year, one simple little virus, and bam. Yeah, this shit is real. This shit is real. Okay, if anybody has comments on this, we got some more to talk about, and we will. This is a whole list of things that people would have thought we were insane, and they do, right? They do. A year ago, when you talked about this type of stuff, people thought you were nuts. Not anymore. Not anymore. Not anymore. What's up, Ian? Not my scene. Thanks for showing up, buddy. Maybe we'll do aliens next time, and that'll be your scene. But yeah, thanks for being here tonight. Let's see. Derek says, saw it tonight, and one of my Facebook friends. Oh, you guys are talking to each other. Okay. Anyway, if you guys got comments, 702-957-1037, hop on in and let us know what's going on. You can join the Discord at troubleminds.org. The phone number and the Discord link is on the website, and there you go. So, yeah, do you have comments on this stuff, or if some of this stuff you saw coming, or if you're startled that it may actually be happening right before our eyes? Okay, here's another one. This is from South Africa, and I couldn't help but think of Tamron when I was pulling this article up from South Africa. Let's post this. Unpacking the legal and ethical aspects of South Africa's COVID-19 track and trace app. Your papers, please. Right? Yeah, crazy stuff. Here, let me link this article. You guys can follow along. All right. The most effective way to stop the spread of a virus is to prevent contact with everyone who is infected. Straight from the article here. Those who are infected can be isolated and treated if necessary. To determine who they are, it's necessary to actively look for and manage cases. Right? Doesn't that sound nice? You have to actively look for and manage these cases. During the COVID-19 pandemic, emerging technologies are being repurposed to help trace whoever has been in contact with an infected person. Some of these technologies, such as the Global Positioning System, GPS, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth, are not new, though GPS has been used to find accident victims at precise geographic locations. Some of the uses of Wi-Fi are oxygen monitoring devices, smart beds, access to electronic medical devices, and real-time access to X-rays and magnetic resonance imaging scans, MRIs. Now, these tools can also help one of the most important jobs in the pandemic, track and trace. They allow some people some movement and economic activity with the ability to manage their own risk of being exposed to possible infection or spreading any infection. So they allow people some movement and some economic activity. It's almost like, hold on, I'm not kidding. That's what it says.
Now these tools can also help do one of the most important jobs in the pandemic, track and trace. They allow people some movement and economic activity, with the ability to manage their own risk of being exposed to possible infection or spreading any infection.
Yeah. Some risk and some economic activity. So you're allowed to do, well, basically what the lockdown says you can do. So anyway, all right, here we go. Let's see. Let's go back to this initial article here. I think we got off track a little bit. All right, so that's your travel papers, right? And the next one was starting on this. Mandatory GPS tracking of humans. And that's kind of where we started on the next article. Here we go. Don't be silly. Nobody is actually tracking you with your phone. You're not Jason Bourne. Oops. Here we go. Let's read some of this from the article. And yeah, I'll pour another beer. But here we go. Here's the article itself. You guys can follow along. And There's a lot here, right? There's a lot here that, again, if you mentioned this a year ago, people said you were nuts. People said you were insane, too much tinfoil, too much conspiracy, too much everything not good for you. Well, no. Now, today, in the world we live in, we get this.
2020 proved that was a lie when they rolled out contact tracing apps to make sure you didn't breathe the same air as somebody who got a positive COVID test. Not only do sick or potentially sick people need to worry about being phoned or questioned by contact tracers, but there's also a whole new world of dystopian technology being rapidly developed. Apple and Google formed a partnership to develop a phone app with the potential to monitor 1/3 of the world's population. The Australian government has developed an app called COVID Safe to protect you, your family and friends, and save the lives of other Australians. The more Australians connect to the COVID Safe app, the quicker we can find the virus. In fact, all sorts of potentially invasive new technology tools are springing up to fight COVID. Some use AI to detect signs of COVID, and the Department of Defense is deploying thermal imaging to detect signs of COVID. These things won't just go away when the pandemic is over. If they're in use for a year or 2 years, however long this virus is with us, chances are they're here to stay. Source:
chances are they're here to stay. So if you have a smartphone, this continues, rest assured at some point you're probably going to have an app like this forcibly installed. Do you remember this when this was a voluntary thing, right? Did anybody get like an Android or an iPhone update where they just dropped that shit right on your phone? They did. Nobody asked. Yeah. Yeah. So you have a smartphone, rest assured at some point you're probably going to have an app like this forcibly installed during one of those relentless updates. It's happened. Of course, they'll say that the app is just a framework and you have to enable it for it to work. Oh, wait, they already said that after installing the framework. Yeah. Exactly. What's up? Matt says, if you were to talk about this a year ago, people think you are crazy. Now, you know how we feel all our lives. Exactly. Elizabeth says, too much fuckery too fast. And she didn't say that. I extrapolated. She was much more nice about it. Australia still treats its citizens like prisoners still. Yeah, right. There's a lot here. There's a lot of garbage here. Okay, so anyway, back to that. Back to the smartphone, the COVID passports, right? The Hawaii traveling. Let's see. Unpacking the legal and ethical aspects of South Africa's track and trace app. All right, this is exactly what we're talking about here. GPS tracking on people. Yeah. Here we go. Here's another one. Channel News Asia. All right, check this out. This is pretty good. This is pretty good stuff. Here we go. Jeez. All right. Trackers to mask detectors. India bets on COVID-19 tech amid privacy fears. Oh, not privacy fears. You must wear a tinfoil hat. New Delhi. From a tracker that can tell where someone sleeps at night to a device detecting whether they have a mask on or not, India's government is betting on high-tech solutions to fight COVID-19 despite growing privacy concerns. Officials have called on local firms to develop technology powered by artificial intelligence to help stem the spread of the coronavirus. More than 8.5 million people in India have been infected by the virus, according to the Johns Hopkins University's tracker, making it the worst affected country after the United States. With nationwide lockdown restrictions lifted, people are starting to go back to work and travel again, prompting public and private players to turn to data-driven tech to track their movements, check temperatures, and enforce social distancing. The world is getting back on its feet, and a new sense of normal is coming back, says Akshata Kari. And now is the time to put these solutions in place so people feel safe. And this is the co-founder of Pixuate, an AI-based video analytics firm and tech hub, Bangalore. There you go, in India. So Pixuate was one of the 6 companies selected in May by the government's Technology Development Board to develop a low-cost solution to identify persons with abnormal body temperature in a crowd and alert authorities. Yeah, right out in public, it's gonna detect abnormal body temperatures. Again, this is all stuff we've talked about, right? They have this stuff out on the Vegas Strip now, where it's they've installed temperature checks at doors. I actually had I went into a casino down in Prim a little while ago because we were down there for another reason, and I was like, hey, let's see if this shit's open. Let's go in. And they had you go through this little queue, right? You couldn't just walk in. You had to actually be diverted from the front door around to this other side, and then there was only one entrance in, and the entrance, they were checking your temperature, right? Beeping your forehead. So that was the first time it happened to me. I think I told you guys when it happened, but it's like, okay. Okay. Yes. Let's see. Kurt says, yes, they did, Mike. Supposedly voluntary. Woke up with a forced install to my phone. Yep. No effing voluntary to it. Exactly. They did. I'm pretty sure Joe from Florida, he actually sent us a screenshot of when they updated his. Robert says, no, I'm really glad I have refused to have a cell phone. There you go, buddy. At least if you're going to do it, get a dumb phone. Don't get a smartphone, right? Like get one of them burner phones that kind of can't do shit but make phone calls. Then at least you're, probably a step ahead of the game. But even so, it's still trackable. What's up? Jeff says, Kurt, I got Def Leppard stuck in my head from the other night. Nice. So which Def Leppard song? Okay, let's see. All right, here's another one. Minnesota. One of my favorite places, though I've never been there. I just hear it's really nice this time of year and many other times of year. Okay, here we go. All right, so this is from NPRnews.com. M as in Mike, not N as in Nike. Mike, NPR News. Minnesota rolls out new app for COVID exposure alerts. And this is November 23rd, 2020. Yesterday. This was yesterday. Here, actually, we can listen to this.
The state is rolling out a new COVID tracking tool today that's meant to make people aware of whether they've been in close contact with someone who has the virus. Our Catherine Richard joins us now to fill us in on this latest development and more in Minnesota's efforts to fight COVID. Catherine, hello.
Hi, Tom.
First, give us a quick rundown of today's COVID-19 numbers from the Minnesota Department of Health.
Sure. There are about 6,300 new cases and 24 more people have passed away from the virus. Those deaths happened all over the state. Testing remains high. 57,000 tests were conducted between Saturday and Sunday, but hospitalizations also remain high. Nearly 1,800 people sick with...
Okay, shut up. That's not what I wanted to hear. No offense, people, reporters. You're doing a good job. Doing important. Keep it coming. Minnesota leaders began pushing a new smartphone application on Monday that would alert users to potential exposure to COVID-19 based on technology that they say will also keep personal information private. Wow. Really? I'm not so sure is that okay. How are we going to do that?
Minnesota leaders began pushing a new smartphone application on Monday that would alert users to potential exposure to COVID-19 based on technology that they say will also keep personal information private.
Also keep personal information private. See? I didn't make that up. The COVID-aware Minnesota application, similar to those in use in several other states, depends on people downloading the program and sending out an alert if they test positive for the virus. Neither will happen automatically for smartphone users. All right. Now, have you heard this one, guys? So they're saying this depends on people downloading it and then putting it in the app that they've got COVID, okay? Now, has anybody been to a grocery store? Stop me if you've heard this one. You know how you come out of the grocery store and you've got your cart and there's those cart corrals? And I heard this on Timcast. I actually didn't know this, but he says that one of the arguments and to make a correlation why people can't govern themselves is because when there's no incentive for them to do something, they don't do it, right? So you bring your shopping cart out, unload your groceries, and the thing is like right there. It's, within probably 10 or 15 or 20 steps of you to just walk the shopping cart over and put it in the corral, right? Because then you're helping out the people in the store, and so they don't have to go all over the damn parking lot to pick your shit up. But people don't. They just dump it right by the car, right? Sometimes they'll slam it into your car and drive away, right? Like this is the type of thing that we're talking about. So this is actually going to somehow depend on people being like actually, doing it because it's the right thing to do, and again, I have the utmost faith in people, and I think that I do. I put my cart back in the corral, right? And it's not saying that I'm some saint or anything. I'm just saying that, right? Like there's no reason not to. I need the walk. I need the steps. I need a little extra exercise here or there. It's fine. But people don't. Like you see it, like they're all over the damn parking lot. But that's why they say, right? So if it's voluntary, this does not happen. Oh, and the reason is, well, they're going to make it voluntary. People aren't going to do it. And then what do? Then they start forcing it, right? When do they get into your medical records? That's what I want to know. When do they actually get into your medical records? Yeah. Let's see. Joe says, bullshit, private. My wife will know when I'm at the strip club. There you go. Exactly. Right? Exactly. We're going to get to that too. We're going to get to that. There's more. There's more tracking involved here. Okay, so the program matches phone proximity information to daily lists of positive cases. There are safeguards built in to prevent people from falsely claiming a COVID-19 infection just to cause panic. Okay, hold on. So if it doesn't know your medical record, how the hell is it going to be a safeguard built in to prevent people from falsely claiming COVID to cause a panic? Yeah. To trigger a notification, a person who's tested positive must enter a verification code. There you go. They're received from a public health authority. All right. Well, more. Can I see your papers, please? Okay. Anyway, now on to exactly what Joe said. Number 4, cashless societies. Now let's go straight back to this article again. We're kind of going down this article. And again, these are conspiracy theories that a year ago people would call you nuts, right? They would be like, no, too much tinfoil. And now all of these things in one capacity or another are actually coming true. This is a little bit nuts. All right. Number 4, cashless societies. Somehow, I know you guys have seen these signs, but somehow the United States ran out of change. You go into my local grocery stores and there's signs up that says, still say, exact change only, please, or please use a card, right? Yeah, there we go. So Bloomberg reported this in August. As if a deep recession and never-ending pandemic wasn't enough, the U.S. now faces another crisis, a coin shortage. Thanks to the lockdowns, fewer coins are in circulation, leaving businesses unable to make change when customers hand over paper money. Yeah, this had a lot of people concerned, especially since Venezuela used COVID to push citizens toward a cashless society. Here in the United States, the change shortage was so extensive it caused many stores to give you your change on a store loyalty card or invite you to donate that change to some cause. A true cashless society would allow significant control over our day-to-day lives. All right, cashless societies. Oh boy! All right, now this goes back to exactly what Joe just said, right? His wife being able to track him down at the right. You can't cashless society means you got to run your card at the stripper, right? It's in the strip club. So yeah, here we go. Reported by the New York Times. Who will miss the coins when they're gone? More propaganda. Oh boy. And this is happening. This shit is happening, guys. This shit is happening. Now, all of this is weird to me because it is. A year ago, like, to bring up all these things in one show, they would be like, dude, Mike, you were way, way, way off the rails. Off the rails. Like, this stuff is not happening. A year later. We have sources. The New York Times reports, who will miss the coins when they're gone? We used to carry and trade bits of metal everywhere, but a pandemic shortage and the rise of the digital money are making jingly pockets a distant memory for many. Yep. China has plans for a digital currency, straight from the article here, and the U.S. Federal Reserve is doing research and experimentation. Facebook has a currency in the works, and Bitcoin's evangelists are still preaching. Millions of Americans are skipping right over coins by paying with their phones or shopping on them. Yeah. I tell you what, what's up, William says, all this is happening here too. That's in Singapore, right? Exactly. Joe says, can't get change at the strip club. Yeah, well, throw change on the stage. When are we going? Yeah, I mean, exactly. Like, so, okay, now cashless society, the reason, okay, now it seems convenient, right? Now this is the problem. This is exactly why these things happen, and they roll out and people do their things and they praise about it and say, look, it's no more of that, dirty, nasty change we have to trade back and forth, and money's so dirty and all this other stuff, right? But even though you can argue in this day and age, paper money pretty much isn't worth the paper it's printed on, all right? In many cases, it's getting worse and worse, right? But they're saying that, think of the convenience, all right? You could pay with your phone everywhere you go, no cash whatsoever. Everything's hunky-dory, exact change, right? Okay, what's the downside? Yeah, the downside is your privacy. If the government issues a legal tender in digital currency and you have to pay with that digital currency, that means they know every penny you spent, where you spent it, and yeah, et cetera, so on. When you spent it. Yeah. There you go. Kelly says, bro, I want to go back to gold and silver. And I again, right? Again, we're going further and further away from the things that make sense and more toward a future that is straight dystopia. Like this stuff is real, all right? So there's the New York Times talking about our coin shortage here. All right, here we go. Damn it, they locked me out again. All right, so here's another one. I'm gonna link this because you guys can probably see this. I'll skip over it because, well, I can't get in it, but you guys can see the source that I pulled up. But this is from ArabianBusiness.com. All right. And so the headline is Dubai sets up new group to oversee transition to cashless society. Right. And you say, oh, big deal. That's Dubai. Right. They don't give a shit about human rights. Why would they care about any of the rest of this? Well, just like I said, we started with the New York Times talking about us. Us. All right. There we go. There's another one. The Halifax Courier.co.uk. All right. Here's another one. You guys on your strip club talk, you're cracking me up. Okay, here we go. There's more. Halifax is expected to be one of the first cashless locations in the UK, research reveals, right? That would be the United Kingdom. Halifax is what, a county, I believe? Halifax is one of the top towns in the UK that are leading the way with contactless payments, research reveals. Yeah, right. So following a 60% decrease in the use of cash machines in April 2020, Payment Sense analyzed their unique data over the last 6 months to find out which UK cities used the least cash. The data also found which towns and cities preferred contactless and digital payments the most, and which cities had the highest year-on-year increase in these payment methods. Yeah. The findings have been mapped, and the UK capital of contactless card payments is ready to be revealed. The study reveals that Halifax is one of the UK's card payment capitals for an exponential increase in the use of contactless payments. There you go. It's coming. Halifax. Anybody live near Halifax in the United Kingdom? Yeah. And Halifax is it Nova? Wait, no, UK, not Nova Scotia. Yeah. Let's see. Joe says, Mike, if you don't pay that $5.99, the site blows up. That site can blow the fuck up for all I care. They suck. All right, so there you go. All right, so this stuff is what it is, right? Princess Bab says, downside is also hackers getting into phone and take all our money. Yeah, I was going to get there too. So not only that, so if you want to make the argument that paper currency is what it is, right? Is, like we say, inflation and widening national debts and these types of things, they devalue the dollar, right? The spending power of a paper dollar, right? The dollar, the old-fashioned cash, all right? And so as this becomes further and further devalued, and then it goes to a digital currency, then you don't even have the paper in your hand anymore. Like you literally have nothing you could lock up and keep safe. Your shit is in a bank somewhere, in a digital bank, right? That's not only able to be tracked 24/7, like for every penny that goes anywhere. Then you're exposed to hackers, and not only that, right? Remember the bank runs? Remember in the Great Depression in this, my grandparents' age when they were actually out and the shit hit the fan and people had to actually go run to the banks and pull their money out, and it's like the Ponzi scheme. It's the banks, right? They're investing your money. It's not, they don't have all your money, right? Like, and so people do a run on the banks, right? Start getting cash out. But here's the problem now. So if this happens and the economy collapses, you think they're going to let you do a run on your cash? No, they'll just turn the servers off. You can't touch shit. And then all the little dots, the beeps and bloops, the ones and zeros that used to be your money are nothing. They're gone. Vaporware. A thing of the past. Yeah, exactly. Some good comments here. Let's see. The British will pay with tea and crumpets, says Joe. Yes, the civilized British. Larry says, and they can cancel your wealth at the push of a button. I'm not going to pay my lawn boy in Bitcoin either. There you go. Let's see. Here's a clue. Buy some gold or silver, says Kurt. Yeah. So again, right, like these things are going down. This stuff is happening. And like I said, a year ago, people would have thought we were insane, right? If you bring up all these things in one show, in one sitting, they're like, no, you people are nuts. Oh, yeah? And so, okay, so the argument for this show, and what we've always said since the very beginning, is that civilization is not as robust as we're meant to believe. And I think 2020 absolutely 150% validates that. And here we are, unfortunately, dealing with the things, the fallout of this, right? And, you know, I'm not saying I told you so and COVID's a good thing, because it's not. It's terrible. But we were talking about all kinds of things that could happen. And pandemic was one we rarely talked about, but we did. We talked about the swine flu and these things that pop up in China from time to time. But, you know, because you never know. You never know how far it's going to go. Crazy. What's up, Jeff says, shit, my wife just got a new Wells Fargo card today. Has a chip you just swipe. Yeah, right? Contactless. You don't even have to touch anymore. Like, yeah, you just kind of wave it near the machine and it does it, right? You don't even have to touch your card to the thing anymore. Yeah, it's Hell's Cargo, says Joe. Hell's Cargo. The stagecoach leaves with your money. There it is. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, right? You guys get where I'm headed with this. This is messed up. Bailey says, "What's stopping them already?" Well, we have some dirty cash smuggled under the bed, right? We got a jar of pennies, right? That's what's stopping them. But they could. You're totally right. And that's exactly kind of my point with Bitcoin and the rest of this. This next level cashless bit is dangerous, right? You turn the servers off and nobody's got access to shit. And so somebody somewhere with the master switch can just shut down the entire economy, right? Now, how safe does that seem? Does that seem decentralized and safe to you? Kind of like they say our elections are. But does it seem like that? Yeah, no, I don't think so. Okay, so anyway, this continues. Let's see. Cashless society. Let's see. All right. So there's another one, right? Cashless societies, right? Number 4. Number 5. Microchips, right? Remember, you used to bring up microchips, right? In any capacity, right? And they're like, people would roll their eyes and they're like, it's conspiracy theorists. These people are insane. Yeah. Well, here we go. Number 5, microchips. Again, following from this article here, which is fantastic, written by, got to give credit where credit is due when people do good things, Daisy Luther on the truthseeker.co.uk. Daisy Luther. Here we go. Number 5, microchips. DARPA got involved early on, touting it as a way to save us all from COVID, Robert Wheeler wrote. And he continues here. I'm going to have Microsoft Mike read this so I can take a sip of beer and catch up on some chat, but here we go. This is what is being said about microchips. And there.
But governments aren't having to market the chip as a method to track, trace, and control their populations. Instead, they are marketing the chip as a way to track and detect COVID and other coronaviruses. Clearly, this is a much easier sell to a public literally terrorized by their governments and mainstream media outlets for the last 6 months. Raul Diego details the creation and coming rollout of the new biochip in his article, A DARPA-Funded Implantable Microchip to Detect COVID-19 Could Hit Markets by 2021, where he writes, "The most significant scientific discovery since gravity has been hiding in plain sight for nearly a decade, and its destructive potential to humanity is so enormous that the biggest war machine on the planet immediately deployed its vast resources to possess and control it, financing its research and development through agencies like the National Institutes of Health, NIH, the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA, and HHS BARDA. The revolutionary breakthrough came to a Canadian scientist named Derek Rossi in 2010 purely by accident. The now retired Harvard professor claimed in an interview with the National Post that he found a way to reprogram the molecules that carry the genetic instructions for cell development in the human body, not to mention all biological life forms. These molecules are called messenger ribonucleic acid or mRNA, and the newfound ability to rewrite those instructions to produce any kind of cell within a biological organism has radically changed the course of Western medicine and science, even if no one has really noticed yet. As Rossi himself puts it, The real important discovery here was you could now use mRNA, and if you got it into the cells, then you could get the mRNA to express any protein in the cells, and this was the big thing. Source.
There's a source. All right, here we go. So, that was a lot there. All right, hold on. I got articles. Hold on. There's more. There's more. All right, Cash to Societies. Here we go. This is it. From mintpressnews.com. A DARPA-funded implantable biochip to detect COVID-19 could hit markets by 2021. Yep. Like I said, if you would have said this a year ago, people are like, nope, too much tinfoil. Get away from me. You're nuts. Now, look what's going on. Look what's going on. By Raul Diego. This is published September 17th, 2020. The most significant, we actually read this. This is straight from the article that was on the other part. So it was so big that by 2014, Rossi was able to retire after the company he co-founded with flagship pioneering private equity firm to exploit his innovation. Moderna Incorporated attracted almost $500 million in federal award monies to begin developing vaccines using the technology. No longer affiliated with Moderna beyond his stock holdings, Rossi is just watching for what happens next. And if he's anything like the doting hockey dad he is portrayed to be, he must be horrified. And check this out. It continues. As early as 2006, DARPA was already researching how to identify viral upper respiratory pathogens through its Predicting Health and Disease program, the PhD program, which led to the creation of the agency's Biological Technologies Office, the BTO, as reported by Whitney Webb in a May article for The Last American Vagabond. Yeah. Here we go. Nano platforms, which includes implantable nanotechnologies leading to the development of hydrogel. What's hydrogel, you say? I'm glad you asked. Hydrogel is a nanotechnology whose inventor early on boasted that if it pans out with approval from the FDA, then consumers could get the sensors implanted in their core to measure their levels of glucose, oxygen, and lactate. This contact lens-like material requires a special injector to be introduced under the skin where it can transmit light-based digital signals through a wireless network like 5G. You gotta throw in 5G. If you don't throw in 5G, it's not a conspiracy theory. But holy shit. Derek says I need a beer. Cheers, buddy. I got one right here. If you were close, I'd share. Let's see. Larry says, what do you do at a strip club? Touch my chip. Right here. I guess. Joe wants to know, I wonder if a stun gun would short that out. I'm willing to shock myself. Yeah, maybe. You guys are hung up on the strip club and the implications of how this is going to happen. What's up, Bailey? I see that. Thanks for showing up. There's a lot here, right? Bailey says digital currency can be stored on a flash drive under your bed until they pull all the servers, right? And then it doesn't mean shit. Axel says we're already completely dependent on the electronic payment system, and that's basically true, right? That's basically true. So all that stuff back to all the payment stuff. Like there's a lot there that we're already like neck deep in, and so this next wave of like purely all cashless society is just kind of taking the full plunge from neck deep to plugging your nose and just jumping in. Crazy stuff. Okay, so here we go. Now this is crazy, right? This continues. A transhumanist dream, the DARPA funded implantable biochip, right? Which is called what? Hold on. Where was it? Gel. Where's the gel? Where's the jelly? The hydrogel. I was going to say biogel. Hydrogel. All right. So this contact lens-like material requires a special injector to be introduced under the skin where it can transmit light-based digital signals through a wireless network like 5G. Once firmly implanted inside the body, human cells are at the mercy of any mRNA program delivered via this substrate, unleashing a nightmare of possibilities. It is perhaps the first true step towards full-on transhumanism, a philosophy that is in vogue with many powerful and influential people such as Google's Ray Kurzweil and Eric Schmidt, and whose proponents see the fusion of technology and biology as an inevitable consequence of human progress. The private company created to market this technology that allows for biological processes to be to be controlled remotely and opens the door to the potential manipulation of our biological responses, then ultimately our entire existence is called Profusa Inc. Incorporated, and its operations are funded with millions from NIH and DARPA. In March, the company was quietly inserted into the crowded COVID-19 bazaar in March 2020 when it announced an injectable biochip for the detection of viral respiratory diseases. Yeah. Let's see, did I link that? I did. Mint Press News. So this is going on. And again, right? So back to this, things that a year ago people would think you were insane. If you brought up all these conspiracies in one show, nope, you're off the rails. You're not worthy of you're canceled. You're canceled, right? No. There's sources for this shit, guys. There's sources. They're working on these things. Microchips, all right? Microchips. Let's go to the next one. There's more. There's more. There's more. This is from defense1.com. All right. This is not just one group. This is many different people working on these things, many different organizations, including DARPA, right? Defense Advanced Research Projects, some or other. I don't know. Something like that. DARPA, right? Hold on. Let's look it up. Let's be professional here. If you guys have comments on this stuff, if this is freaking you out, well, give me a call, 702-957-1037, and you can give me your take on this. What do you think about all this stuff? Do you think I'm going off the rails, or do you think that this shit's actually happening? Do you think it's actually happening? Because I don't know. There's an awful lot of sources that don't seem to be like, some guy's YouTube channel that has 2 views that's making some bullshit up. There's some actual damn sources here. Here we go. DARPA is this. Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. That's what I meant to say. See? If you're super smart, you just say that right off. If you're me, well, you flub it and then go look it up. All right. So defense1.com reports this. A military-funded biosensor could be the future of pandemic detection. Woo! Right? To tell you what, it's coming. This shit is coming, guys. This shit is coming. Papers, please. Allow me to scan your chip. Okay. Pay with your phone, or actually maybe pay directly with your chip that's in your arm. Right? Here we go. If it wins FDA approval next year, the 2-part sensor could help spot new infections weeks before symptoms begin to grow. But look how many lives it'll save, guys. Why are pandemics so hard to stop? Okay, blah, blah. I don't care. These intros always suck. By detecting flu-like infections even before their symptoms begin to show. Its maker, Profusa, says the sensor is on track to try for FDA approval by early next year. The sensor has 2 parts. One is a 3mm string of hydrogel. There's that word again. The hydrogel, a material whose network of polymer chains is used in some contact lenses and other implants. Inserted under the skin with a syringe, the string includes a specially engineered molecule that sends a fluorescent signal outside of the body when the body begins to fight an infection. The other part is an electronic component attached to the skin. It sends light through the skin, detects the fluorescent signal, and generates another signal that the wearer can send to a doctor, website, etc. It's like a blood lab on the skin that can pick up the body's response to illness before the presence of other symptoms like coughing, right? So, it's like getting a blood test every day, right? It's built into your skin. It's able to actually monitor your blood in real time. It's connected to the internet through 5G or that 6G tower that we started with, that Utah monolith that's made out of alien material, the 6G tower. But this is exasperating, right? Like you follow all these things and there's actual technology happening that is all these things that were all these weirdo conspiracy theories a year ago. And now all of this shit is unbelievably about to be approved by the FDA and put out in the open market, right? Pretty crazy stuff. Larry says, I thought ammo was the new currency. Common loads are scarce. Yeah, that's true. That's true too. If anybody knows where to get some ammo, let me know. Because I have targets to practice on. Let's see. Bailey says, I hope this isn't tied to haptics, HAPTIX. And there's Celeste Solemn from FEMA's polymer-based hydrogen that are used to replace your blood and replace it with fuel that powers nanites programmed by 5G to allow the wills of the powers that be. Yep, nope, no thanks. No thanks, no thank you, no thank you. Bailey says they should expand and they expand in your blood until there's no more blood left. Yeah, all of that I don't know. I've heard of smart dust, and I've looked, right? I looked in scientific papers, kind of searching behind the paywalls of these journals for anything that actually had any kind of information about smart dust and like nanobots and this type of, and I couldn't find anything. I just couldn't do it. It seemed like it didn't exist, right? Unless it was locked behind the doors of DARPA, that type of thing. So it just didn't seem like it was happening in academia or any kind of peer-reviewed anything. So it didn't seem real, right? When people were coming up with these type of conspiracies. But this is the type of shit that's starting to happen, right? 3 millimeter string of hydrogel, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This shit's happening, guys. This shit's happening. It's real, and it's here. All right. Let's see. Here's another one. This is from the Organic Prepper regarding microchips. Again, right? You talked about microchips a year ago. You were insane. Check this out. Check this out. Yep. NBC thinks getting microchipped sounds super convenient. Yep. Let's see. Let's just play this. Let's play this from NBC Nightly News. This is 2 minutes, 28 seconds. I think maybe we've played this before, but I think this is probably worth watching again. Now, this guy, he rolls up and he just beep, lets himself in to this secure facility, which is probably the lunchroom. and it's a chip in his hand that deactivates it. But here we go.
When Elias Brotberger goes to work, he doesn't need ID. And he doesn't need money. In fact, much of what he needs to get through the day is hidden right there, just below the surface, in his hand.
You like to touch it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, weird. Yeah, it's like a grain of rice.
Yeah, a grain of rice.
Embedded in his hand is a microchip that serves as his keys, his ID, and his wallet.
Yeah, it's all on chip, so I use it to get around the building.
Buy snacks.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's buy some snacks. Exactly. So I can't open it.
No.
Okay.
So what I need to do is I need to first blip my chip, and it will log me in, and from there I get access to the fridge.
Popular TV shows like Black Mirror have imagined chips as part of a dystopian future.
Install ingrain procedure with local anesthetic and you're good to go.
In Sweden, the microchips are already here.
The microchip implants use the same technology that's in contactless credit cards,
which have made cash pretty much obsolete in Sweden.
No cash.
At this tech fair, a chipping event for those on the cutting edge, merging their hands with this new technology.
I thought it would be fun, right?
The process is simple and swift. A pinch of the skin, and in a matter of seconds, the chip is inserted. The transformation is complete. As for the pain,
I barely felt it.
But even in this nation of early adopters, not everyone is racing to get chipped.
Feel less human. I will feel like a robot.
I think, it's so much more data can go into this, when it's in your body.
There's no central registry tracking how many people are chipped, but biohacker Hannes Wellblood estimates between 5 and 10,000.
In the future, do you think everyone is going to be chipped?
I think it'll be voluntary, but I am certainly convinced that millions of people will find it very, very valuable to have a smart device under their skin.
Human microchipping may be our future, but in Sweden, it's already reality. Sarah Harmon, NBC News, Stockholm.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking it out. I'm Walter Dolt, whatever my name is. Okay, so now that's the thing, right? They're using this shit. And so you think, look, so they've linked your ID, they've linked your wallet, right? They've linked everything to this. And it's just a grain of rice in your hand. It could be scanned. Beep, beep, everything. Is this what's going on in China right now? Kinda. But I think everything's built through the smartphone. I'm not sure they have chips just yet, but I think it's happening. Kurt says, wow, brave dude putting his ID out there, chop his hand off, somebody's banking. Exactly. Kelly says those things have kill switches in them. I hope it's not the kill switch you're talking about. Yeah, Joe says, hey, this guy's lost. Check his chip and return him to his wife. Full of jokes tonight. Let's see. Bailey says, watch Celeste Solom's video. She's supposedly from FEMA. It's like Minority Report. Now people cut off your hand instead of stealing your wallet. Yeah, exactly, right? It used to be like in the science fiction, right? Arnold would knock somebody out, and then he'd drag them over, and he'd put their their fingerprint on there to let himself in, right? No, now you need to cut off the hand, or you got to rip the chip out of their palm or whatever it is. Robert says, now look, this is terrifying. This is terrifying. He says they'll be microchipping the babies at birth, right? Right? Like, look what's going on here. Look what's going on here. Look where we're headed. Look, Joe. Look where we're headed. Look where we're headed with this. Now, again, right, these are all conspiracies that a year ago people would have said you're insane for talking about this. You can't really take this seriously. This is not real. Blah, blah. You're making this shit up in your head. It's the mark of the beast. It's 666, all this stuff, right? Like you're too much Nutter Butters for you. Yeah, no. This shit's real. Imagine the possibilities. Here it is. Of theft. This would certainly take stealing your wallet to an entirely new level. Would thieves just hack off a person's hand to gain access to their keys, credit card, and ID? Or would it be even easier than that? Considering we now need to carry our passports and credit cards and RFID blocking wallets because criminals can walk around with scanning devices and steal our unprotected information, which is kind of what I was going to say. Will those with chips need to wear an RFID blocking glove, a la Michael Jackson? That's going to be the next thing, right? There's always the next thing. Then how much more information will they put on microchips? Today it's your keys, your money, and your identification. Tomorrow will it be GPS trackers placed in children and the elderly? Placed in children. What did Robert say? They'll be microchipping the babies at birth. Yeah. Right? And again, like, and it's like, oh, come on, Mike. This is just too much. I don't know. There's a lot of evidence here that seems to suggest that they're using this COVID-19 as a Trojan horse, let's say, to just kind of bring all of this shit in. This is your great reset, guys. This is the way things are about to be. Like Axel said, we're neck deep in this banking system already. Well, things are about to get even more weird. Yeah. They'll be microchipping the babies at birth. That needs to be a t-shirt. Yeah, okay. All right. So this continues. It's not done yet. You think this is done? We're not even done yet. We're getting there. All right. If you're getting exhausted from this, don't worry. I am too. Because it irritates me. It scares the piss out of me. All right. Now, okay, so there's the chips. All right. Number 5, microchips. Where are we at time-wise? Perfect time-wise. All right. Here we go. Number 6. Mandatory vaccines. And again, we're taking this from the truthseeker.co.uk and then kind of matching up some of the actual news reporting to this to see if this is legit or if this is a bunch of BS. So let's see. What do we got here? Okay, whatever. All right, there it is. Okay, so number 6. There's only 7. So we got 6 and 7 and we're done. Number 6. Mandatory vaccines. Right? Remember back when nobody thought that adults would ever be forced to take vaccines except for crazy conspiracy theorists? Well, that day is coming sooner than many people expect. A much heralded COVID vaccine could be rolled out in a matter of days. Pfizer and BioNTech have both concluded phase 3 of rushing their jabs to market. There are still many, many questions. The return of our old familiar ways will take time, and how much time remains unclear. The answers await more research into the vaccines, how they can be distributed, and how many people are willing to get them. Quote, a vaccine won't be available immediately for everybody, says Arthur Ringgold, a professor of epidemiology at the School of Public Health at University of Berkeley, California. But he does say it will probably take 4 to 6 months. What that says to me is that people will have to keep wearing masks until at least spring. We won't be in a magically different situation by February or March. I don't see how that can possibly happen. All right. Now, this continues. Equally important are the unknowns about the vaccines themselves. Scientists still don't know how long vaccine-induced protection will last, for example, or whether inoculations can block actual infection or only prevent the onset of disease, etc., so on, right? And again, we talked about this previously, that the Pfizer one is only based on 160 people or so. So we're gonna take 160 people, we're gonna run some trials, and then we're gonna vaccinate 500 million people based on those. I don't know, guys. Like, again, right? Like, it's one thing to like race to get things done, but it's another thing entirely to yeah. Anyway, here we go. Let's go straight to this. This is
from Real Clear Politics by Tim Harris, October 15th, 2020, and this is before the election, right? Before the election. So you can't say, okay, it's probably propaganda. but, right? Headline, Real Clear Politics says this, Joe Biden on COVID-19 vaccine. We should be thinking about making it mandatory. Let's see what he has to say.
Kelly Lee, she's from Philadelphia.
Thank you.
Republican. Voted for Donald Trump in 2016. Undecided now?
Hey, Kelly, how are you?
Hi, Mr. Biden. My question is about the coronavirus vaccine,
Yes.
or potential. Senator Harris stated that she absolutely would not take a vaccine from President Trump. And of course, we all know it's not President Trump that would create this vaccine. It would be doctors and scientists that presumably we all trust. So my question for you is, if a vaccine were approved between now and the end of the year, would you take it? And if you were to become president, would you mandate that everyone has to take it?
Two things. Number one, President Trump talks about things that just aren't accurate about everything from vaccines. We're going to have one right away. It's going to happen and so on. The point is that if the body of scientists say that this is what is ready to be done, and it's been tested, it's gone through the 3 phases, yes, I would take it. I'd encourage people to take it. But President Trump says things like, everything from this crazy stuff he's walking away from now, inject bleach in your arm and that's going to work. I'm not being facetious though. I mean, he's actually said these things. And now Regeneron is the answer. That's going to cure everything. There's 500,000 doses. We got a couple, we have more than a few million people. And most of if you notice, most of the companies who are developing these vaccines are working, they're making real progress. I meet with 4 leading scientists at least twice a week in the beginning, 4 times a week, giving us the detail on what kind of progress is being made. And right now, they do the right thing. When they run into a serious problem, they halt the test. They don't continue until they figure out what the problem was. They're not there yet. And the most scientists say that's not likely to have a vaccine that would be available until the beginning of next year, into the spring of next year. And in the meantime, what I worry about is the same thing with Regeneron, which is a useful a useful tool. But what's happening is there is no plan to figure out how to distribute it. How many, we have 500,000, vials of it. Well, we don't have all the testing equipment. We don't have all the ability to get it to the people who need it. And what we should be doing now, and allegedly it's happening, but I've not seen it yet, nor the docs that I've talked to have seen it, there should be a plan when we have the vaccine, how do we distribute it?
And once we get it, if it's safe, if it's effective, will you mandate its use?
The answer is, depending on how clear, there's vaccines, they say, have a very positive impact, and they're going to affect positively 85%.
Okay, notice. He can't say yes. It's a simple yes or no. Politicians. Watch what he says, though.
Of the American public. Or there's others say this vaccine is really the key. This is the golden key. It depends on the state of the nature of the vaccine, when it comes out, and how it's being distributed. That would depend on. But I would think that we should be talking about, depending on the continuation of the spread of the virus, we should be thinking about making it mandatory.
How could you enforce that?
Well, you
just said it. We should be thinking about making it mandatory. And Stephanopoulos straight away interrupts him. How could you enforce that? Right? But he said, hold on. Look what he said.
About, depending on the continuation of the spread of the virus, we should be thinking about making it mandatory.
How could you enforce that?
Yeah. There you go. There's your president-to-be, guys. Joe Biden raised eyebrows Thursday evening at ABC News town hall when he asked if he considered making the COVID-19 vaccine mandatory, and he said, you can't enforce that, but you can tell people they can't come to school without it, Biden said. You see? So let's say you can't go to work, you can't get on a plane, you can't go to school. Isn't that mandatory? That's freaking mandatory. Unless you go live in the woods by yourself. Yeah. Yeah. Now this is the stuff, right? This is the stuff that slips, right?
Like this guy goes off on Orange Man Bad, saying about how terrible the dumb things Donald Trump said, and then he goes on to say other incredibly stupid things, right? Different stupid things. It's just you just can't keep stupid things from coming out of their mouth. But okay, there you go. Mandatory. All right. What about the next one? Here's one from Mr. Fauci. What's his name? The low guy with the gruff voice. The low guy. You know what I mean? Fauci. This guy. All right, here we go. Will the COVID-19 vaccine be mandatory? What the law says. Can the government or your employer make the COVID-19 vaccine compulsory? Okay, so they can't. But this article, because we're running out of time here, it gets to the point that, here we go. Fauci said, you don't want to mandate and try and force anyone to take the vaccine. We've never done that. You can mandate for certain groups, for people like health workers, but for the general population, you cannot. We don't want to be mandating from the federal government to the general population. It would be unenforceable and not appropriate. All right? Yes. And he says, nobody's talking about coming to your... Okay, wait. It's a different story for orders issued by states, cities, or businesses. But even then, mandatory vaccination won't be forced vaccination, right? Meaning, nobody's talking about coming to your house, holding you down, and vaccinating you. Dorrit Reese, a law professor at the University of California, Hastings College in San Francisco, said. Refusing to follow a mandate could mean a fine, tax, or other penalty, said Reese, who studies legal and policy issues related to vaccines. What then? A fine, a tax, or other penalties. Well, if you need it to travel, right? It's built into your the chip that's in your arm that has your Nazi travel papers, right? and your keys and your wallet and everything else. Well, okay, that's different, isn't it? You just need it to get a job. You just need it to feed your family or yourself. Yeah, that sounds pretty mandated to me. All right, so here we go, and one more article on that. Mandated. Here we go. Here you go. The New York Bar Association advises state to consider mandating COVID vaccination. I'm telling you, like, you just can't make this shit up. It's literally like, no, come on, right? This is not happening, right? No, it's happening. This is happening out there. Here we go. The resolution does not offer exemptions for religious, philosophical, or personal reasons. Let's read the quote. Let's see. I'm linking all the sources, guys. I got receipts. There's sources on this shit. The state, quote, okay, so this is the New York State Bar Association passed a resolution on Saturday, and this is back in November 12th, all right? Advising the state to consider enacting a COVID-19 vaccination mandate for everyone in the state. Quote, the state should take steps to protect the public's health and consider mandate as may be necessary to reduce risks of transmission and morbidity and mortality. The resolution, which is in no way legislative, states. Okay, of course, right? They're not making laws here. These are just the assholes that donate to the campaigns that, right, make the laws. Should the level of immunity be deemed insufficient by expert medical and scientific consensus? There it is again, scientific consensus, expert medical and scientific consensus, to check the spread of COVID-19 and reduce morbidity and mortality, a mandate and state action should be considered as may be warranted, the resolution adds. Yeah, well, yeah. Multiple sources here. And you could dig and find more and more. You can find the actual resolution here itself, on and on and on. Are you shitting me? Yeah. Let's go to the last one here. All right, now, number 7. Yeah, you'll never believe this. You'll never believe this. Re-education camps. All right. Well, this is one of those things where you say it and everybody's like, "Oh, no, come on, really? Right? Get out of here. Get this, Mike. Now you're just being stupid." Oh yeah. How long have we been talking about FEMA camps? Actually, in the very first episode of this show, episode number 1. We talked about FEMA camps. All right. Number 7. Remember how we used to joke about being put into FEMA camps? Well, finally, for those who believe these conspiracy theories were conspiracy facts all along, and for Trump voters, there's the discussion about how to re-educate us so we can rejoin society. In a Twitter thread run amok, we saw the dark side of some well-educated Democrats who were sincerely trying to figure out how to redeem those of us who did not vote for Joe Biden. And this is from the article. Those are not my words, so everybody relax. All right. Now, here's a tweet from Laura Myers. Actually, hold on. Let's just go straight to it. Screw the tweet. Let's go to reprogramming. Yeah, here we go. Let's go to Veterans Today. Let's look at this. Yeah. This is what's going on social media, guys. Yeah, Derek, the Walmarts. Remember? Were you here in episode 1? We talked about the Walmarts and the FEMA camps. All right. Veterans Today. Trump ADL proposed re-education camps for people who don't love Israel enough, right? So there's one. There's one for you Trump haters, all right? No problem. Here's another one. Red State. DNC member David Atkins says his deprogramming comment didn't really mean deprogramming. His history says otherwise. All right, here we go. I'm linking this and you guys can check it out. Actually, hold on. Wait, it didn't let me link that. It didn't let me link that. Am I still live? How funny. How funny. Okay, here we go. So that first one, it didn't let me link because it's fake news, I guess. Which was the Trump and the Israel thing. All right. But check this one out. This guy, now this joker here, he actually said, let's see, what did he say? Let's start here. Oh, here we go. This is where we should have started. This is from Dan Bongino. He's a conservative guy. Everybody, hair on fire, screaming out of the room. I get it. I understand. Everybody breathe, relax. All right. Now, elected DNC member floats re-education camps for Trump supporters, right? This is exactly what they were saying. The following tweet from a regional director of the DNC in California stopped me in my tracks yesterday. Earlier this week, David Atkins, a self-described elected DNC member, asked this stunning question. No, seriously, how do you reprogram 75 million people? Where do you start? Fox? Facebook? Yeah, that's a real tweet right there. Right there. Yep. If you didn't see it, it's real. And yeah, this guy is a blue check mark on Twitter and wants to know how you deprogram 75 million people. 75 million people. Yeah. Okay. All right. So he says, David Atkins, his deprogramming comment didn't really mean deprogramming, but this the Red State says his history says otherwise. But okay, so after the backlash, Atkins claimed this, that he wasn't advocating for re-education camps or anything, but does he really understand what happened in post-World War II Germany and Japan? Perhaps he needs a little history refresher from that oh-so-conservative site, Wikipedia, under the denazification entry. Let's look at that. Let's go to that one. What's it say? Denazification was an Allied initiative to rid German and Austrian society, culture, press, economy, judiciary, and politics of the Nazi ideology. All right? And I'm not calling anybody Nazis. I'm saying this was a thing. It was carried out by removing those who had been Nazi Party or SS members from positions of power and influence, and by disbanding or rendering impotent the organizations associated with Nazism. The program of denazification was launched after the end of the Second World War and was solidified by the Potsdam Agreement in August 1945. Yeah, well, I'm sorry. How else do you deprogram 75 million people, guys? Does anybody know? Does anybody out there know? Does anybody out there know? Because apparently there's money in it these days. Yeah, I mean, I laugh. It's not funny, but I laugh. Like, what the hell's actually going on here? Okay, so just to recap. 7 conspiracy theories people would have thought you were insane by bringing up only one simple year ago. Universal basic income, right? Travel papers, mandatory GPS tracking, cashless society, microchips, mandatory vaccines, and drumroll, re-education camps. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm exhausted. If you're exhausted, you should be, because this is heavy stuff. And this is stuff they're actually talking about kind of nonchalantly now. Everybody's like, meh, it was a conspiracy a year ago, but you know how much money we could make with this? Yeah, Kurt says just because FEMA isn't deployed yet doesn't mean it isn't coming. And 75 million aren't going to be reprogrammed. The other side is going to be bleeding in the streets. Whoa. And in Minecraft. In Minecraft, you mean. Definitely in the video games. In the Riot video games. Let's see. Axel says David Atkins would never support a public jobs program as big as re-education camps. That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, but Larry says guillotines. I mean, but look, right? So even though like some of these conspiracies that we talked about tonight, that are not really, I don't know, like are they true? Are they coming true? I think we're very close in a lot of these cases, right? Like, you know, maybe so what if to be hired with Facebook you have to get a chip in your hand? You know what I mean? Like these things are possible, and it has to be linked to this and this and this. Then you have to have like the you know, like you can link all these conspiracies together in one thing, the chip, right? So is that the mark of the beast? Again, I'm not a religious guy, right? But there's been a lot of talk about this for quite a long time. So yeah, like I said, if you're not exhausted, I'm not sure why you're not. You should be. There's a lot of heavy stuff here, and these are conspiracies that are now conspiracy. What would you call it? Conspiracy theory is now conspiracy fact. It's the facts. It's the facts of the matter. We're not doing anything until, well, we get chips. And yeah, it's crazy. This is crazy. It's a crazy world we live in, right? Like that. Like I've used it a few times now. Have you? I hope you live in interesting times. The Chinese proverb, because these are interesting times, aren't they? Aren't they? Axel says, I mean, in practice, they'll throw around a bunch of threats because to stop COVID, we need 80% take up, or this just continues forever. Well, that's exactly the point, right? That's exactly the point. They're using it as a cudgel, as a political cudgel, to kind of put all these things into practice. And just like you said, even when the vaccine comes, right? Let's say we're 6 months into next year. And, you know, like the vaccine's flowing and everybody's just taking shots of it like it's like the miracle elixir, right? And there's still going to be like mask mandates, and they're still going to be locking shit down, destroying small businesses. Like this shit's, mark my words, this is not going away anytime soon. This is going to be, we're in for the long haul. And when Joe Biden said a dark winter, this is what we were talking about. This is exactly what we were talking about, right? These are trying times, guys. These are trying times. We're stuck in a burgeoning dystopia. Congratulations. Never did you think 1984 would become fact in your life, but well, here we are. Oh, okay. Axel says I'm just talking about the vaccine. Yeah. Let's see. Bailey says, and what if the currency is only available to you if you're vaccinated? You're forced into that cycle. That's exactly the point, right? Like all of this is kind of interlinked, right? You're talking about, travel papers. You have to be vaccinated. Maybe you have to have a chip also, because if you can't be tracked. You know what I mean? There's a ton of stuff here that has synchronicity that's freaking terrifying. I think that's the problem, is when you start looking at where all of this leads. If this is, well, okay, and let's frame it this way. Let's just go back to the beginning when we said a year ago, if you mentioned this was like the agenda of the elites, people would think you were nuts, right? But now this stuff is actually happening. And so if it wasn't already on the agenda table and couldn't be ushered in real quick, then is all that justified that a year ago when you talked about this shit, you were right? You were right. Yeah, well. Kurt says they got plans. Kurt says there's the rumor federal government ordered 30,000 guillotines. No shit. Yeah, I did see that. I don't know. I thought that was part of the Q stuff. Should I said it? The Aranon stuff, wasn't it? The Q. Sorry. There you go. See, I'm all stuck in my head now. But the Q, Aranon. To guillotine means you've been corralled and detained. You got no recourse as they put you in the FN thing. Yeah, they got plans. Don't get in the truck. Simple as that. Yeah. I mean, this is not, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think a genocide is around the corner, but I think once they can track every single thing you do 24 hours of the day, I think it becomes a lot easier to institute something like that, don't you? Yeah, there's no getting away. So anyway, not to be a downer, we'll talk about something a little more fun next time. By the way, an announcement. I have many of us have Thanksgiving on Thursday, so happy Thanksgiving to all the folks out there that are going to be celebrating it. I'm not going to judge you whether you stay home or go visit your family. That's not my deal. Your deal is you decide for yourself, and good frequencies, good vibrations, prayers, whatever you believe to you and your family. Be good, be well, take care of yourself, okay? Little announcement. on Thursday, on Thanksgiving Day, 4 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, I will be live streaming with an individual on Twitch named Johnny Now. So a ways back, maybe a week or 10 days ago, a couple weeks, somebody was in the chat. They wanted to do an interview with me. His name was Arc Platinum. Cool dude. He listens to the show. And he got me in touch with this Johnny Now guy on Twitch. So if you guys are interested, let me find Johnny Now. I'll get his link. I'll be live on Johnny Now Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. Some of you, that's right smack in the middle of dinner. I get it if you don't make it. If you don't care, I get it too. It's all good. But I just want to point it out there for the folks that kind of want to hear. I think I'm going to be interviewed, I guess, or we're going to shoot the shit and talk whatever. It's kind of like a chill stream. They talk about what do they talk about? They talk about let's see. Let me find the guy. Johnny Now. Here we go. They talk about kind of people that hustle, people that are inspiring, people, this type of thing. Like that's their shtick over there, right? That's kind of what they do. They kind of get together. They're a fun little community, and they interview people and they talk about marketing and some other things. So it's I'm not good at any of that really, but it's that's what it is. So there's the link if you guys want to check it out. Again, Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. I will be live with Johnny Now. We're going to shoot the shit for an hour or so, and we're going to talk more conspiracy and some other fun stuff. So there you go. If you guys are interested, that's it. You got the link. I will post it on the social media as well, so you can, for the folks that weren't here tonight, can actually know. But I mean it. Be safe. Take care of yourself. Don't get too up into the what would you call it? The end is nigh. It's not nigh yet. We have to pay attention. Pay attention. Like, that's the biggest thing. That's why we do the show. That's why I've always done this show, is because you have to know what's coming. You have to know what's going here. Let's see. Penny says I'll be there. Appreciate that. Thank you. Yes. Happy Freedom Day from us lot, says says Bunny. Yeah. Happy Turkey Day, folks from the vegetarian. Perfect. What else do we got? Let's see. Lots of good chat. Okay. Yeah, try and check it out if you can. If not, like I said, if you don't care, it's totally fine. But some of you may be stuck at home, right, and not able to go visit your family or whatever. So it's another way for us to get together and kick it. So there it is, and I'll see if I can stream it here as well, Penny. If you guys want to watch it here, I think probably it's going to be good both ways. Let's see what else. Let's see. Bailey says I'm normally Turkey Day vegan. I'm temporarily not vegan because it's impossible in Hawaii. Oh yeah, too much mayonnaise, macaroni salad. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. All right. So we're done. This is the end of this. But in the end, like I said, what do you guys think? Is all this shit really coming true? I mean, we have actual real sources that seem to be suggesting that this New World Order type of, Luciferian agenda is a thing. It seems absurd to say, doesn't it? It seems absurd to say. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, that's the deal. Derek says NWO Georgia Guidestone says to close down small businesses. Everything will be owned by the government, and we're headed there. We are headed there. And yes, Penny. By the way, we'll do your show. Let me know. We'll do your show for sure. I'm not dodging you. Let's do it. I definitely will be on your show, and it won't be one time. We'll do this, and we got to find a time that works for both of us, and then we'll set it up. Anybody else? You guys are the best. Thanks for hanging out. Again, be safe. If you're traveling, be safe. Be courteous of other people, regardless of what you believe. Don't be that guy. Don't be that gal. Don't be that person. Don't be that person. Happy Thanksgiving. Remember, there are things to be thankful for, even the shittest year ever. Yeah. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. Thanks for listening. Thanks for all that stuff. If you missed Johnny Now on Thursday, then we'll be back Friday. We'll be back Friday to do some more stuff, and it won't be so downer. I'll look into some other stuff that's a little more fun, a little more maybe cryptozoology, or a little more aliens or something else. We'll do something that's a little more fun and not so downer, kicking dirt in your face while you may be down already. There you go. All right, so we're done. Smashing the button, which is the outro music, which is going to be this one right here. All right, so don't forget, Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific, if you want to be there, 7 p.m. Eastern, Johnny Now on Twitch. I may be streaming it here too. I'm not sure how we're going to do it yet, but there you go. Follow him if you have not. Pretty good stuff over there. And Oh, he used to stream in a cage, by the way. That was his claim to fame. So he's got like 16,000 followers on Twitch, or 14,000, something like that. So he used to stream in a cage. So whatever that means. So there you go. If you guys are into that, go check him out. All right. The rest of it. Thanks for being here. Like I said, without you, this is nothing. It's me mumbling to myself in a corner miserably. So I'm blessed that you guys are here. Be safe, please. Take care of yourself. Take care of your families. Don't go off the rails. Keep it straight. Keep it tight. Make sure you're informed so you know what might be coming. That's the biggest deal. You need to know what's coming before it comes. And if you don't pay attention, then yeah. Yep. And at the end, thanks everybody for hanging out. You're listening to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm your host, Michael Strange. If you want to help out the show, go to troubledminds.org. There's a merchandise link there. It's just got basic alien logo type stuff like you see on the screen right now. We will be adding more to that. There's only so many things I can do. I'm juggling like 10 balls at the same time. I'm trying to do write-ups. I'm trying to do this, trying to timestamp stuff. I'm trying to make shows. There's a lot. It's a lot, guys. So bear with me if something's not up like it should be, when it should be, and so on and so forth. But if you want to help, you can leave us a review on iTunes if you want to do that. That would help us immensely, kind of crack the algorithm a little bit and help other people find us. Or just tell a friend. I think that's the biggest thing. Tell a friend if you like this conversation. And this conversation continues, God willing. And yeah, thanks again for hanging out. I'm blessed. Thanks for listening. Take care of each other. And at the end, Troubled Minds Radio. I'm Michael Strange. What's my line? I got a line. I can't remember. What's my line? It goes something like this. From our troubled minds to yours. Have a great night.